Uh, Truth over lies. Truth over lies.
We see through the disguise. They keep us distracted while the world's on a fire.
Truth over lies.
Global games ain't playing. If we don't stay focused, we'll never get our land.
They talk world peace,
while they loading the weapons. Same script, different villains, same global direction. US pointing fingers that is well on screen, but the real war invisible, messing with minds of the people we seen. They say pick a side, red or blue, while the money keep printing and the truth stay mute. Black folks caught in the middle of a chessboard play. Entertainment distractions keep us arguing all day. They don't want unity, they want noise. They don't want leaders, they want angry boys. Scrolling, debating, beefing online, while rapper per Asian get better in the headline.
Truth over lies.
They selling fear on the news. If we don't see the pattern, we'll keep falling for the rules.
Truth over lies.
Same empire, new face, a distracted people never win the race. They weaponize conflict, divide the globe.
Sanction, invasion, money controls, but tell Black America to stay entertained while generational path never got reclaimed. Reparations ain't charity, it's a debt. Stolen labor, stolen land, don't forget. They want us beefing over nonsense and clout, while the real conversation never comes out. Peace ain't possible without truth involved. You can't heal a wound you refuse to resolve, so we staying locked in, eyes wide open. No distractions, we decoding what's spoken. Focus, they want us blind, unfocused, focus. We too old to be hopeless. No more smoke screens, no more circus shows. Truth over lies. Truth over lies.
They selling fear on the news. If we don't see the pattern, we'll keep falling for the rules.
Truth over lies.
Same empire, new face, a distracted people never win a race.
Truth over lies.
Mr. Walker. Truth over lies. World politics. Black focus. No distractions.
Another young life lost to street violence. Yeah, this ain't entertainment, this is intervention. If the truth hurts your feelings, it probably need to be said.
Truth over lies, we don't glorify pain. At the streets trying to break them chains. Quarter zip mindset, grown men talk. Lead the YNs before they chalk line walk.
Truth over lies, we don't glorify pain. At the streets trying to break them chains. Quarters of mindset, grown man talk. Lead the YNs before they chalk line walk.
Truth over lies, this real, no cap, no cap, no crash outs, no throwaway stats, waste that. OG's back, put order in place. Say the youth, after streets, after cave.
Yeah, I seen talent die for an Instagram stare. Wine chasing clout, no plan, no prayer. Street code outdated, nobody wins. Same block, same cycle, same pens. They selling dreams, but it's really a trap. Labels love bodies, they don't love blacks. We need leaders, not shooters with aim. Need fathers and homes, not candles and names. Quarter zip weather, mind on legacy. Talk money, discipline, equity. I ain't judging, I'm correcting course. Truth hit hard, but it save you more.
Truth over lies, we don't glorify pain. If the streets tryna break them chains. Quarter zip mindset, grown man talk. Lead the YNs before they chalk line walk.
Yeah, OG talk, pull a chair, sit down. Ain't no honor in a jailhouse gown. They told you drill was the way to shine, but the real killers is time and fines. They cheering when you crash out young, and forget your name when the sentence come. We ain't anti-culture, we anti-death. Anti-mama crying, anti-breath, last left. You wanna be a man, build something real. Stocks, trade, skill set, something you can feel. If the streets ain't hate, it's love with the spine. We tryna get you old now, viral online.
Truth over lies, say it loud, say it clear. Left the streets when you need you here. Quarters of vision, fit your focus, kiss. Break generational suffering. Truth over lies, say it loud, say it clear. Left the streets where you need you here. Quarters of vision, future focus, kings. Break generational suffering.
We don't profit off death. We don't clap for destruction. We here to build men.
Not bury boys.
Not bury boys.
Truth over lies.
Yeah. Cart before the horse productions. Gavin X Mr. Walker. Truth over lies. SBC Nation. We in here. We ain't like them, we stay on cold. Truth over lies, yeah, we exposed. From the hood, but we chose that growth. Build our people, yeah, that's the goal. Hit like, subscribe, don't scroll past. Cash App, love, super chat fast. Real talk, only no podcast. Yeah. Truth over lies, yeah, we stand on that. Yeah. Came from the mud, now we cleaning it up. Same block raised us, but we changing it up. No more crashing out, we elevating the mind. Trying to break them cycles, leave that struggle behind. They promote chaos, we promoting the go. Family first, yeah, that's how it go. Married men speaking, yeah, we leading the way. Not perfect, but we building each day. Single mom stresses and playing both sides. Child support courts got a whole lot of pride. But where the structure? Where the fathers at? We ask real questions, they don't honor that.
We ain't like them, we stay on course. Truth over lies, yeah, we exposed. Yeah. From the hood, but we chose that growth. Build our people, yeah, that's the goal. Hit like, subscribe, don't scroll past. Cash App, love, super chat fast. Real talk, only no podcast cap. Truth over lies, yeah, we stand on that. Reparations talk, yeah, we bring it to light. But unity first, gotta get it right. Can't build wealth if the home's not strong. Too many kids growing up all wrong. Doug, wildin', bomb, Keisha fed up. Toxic love stories, yeah, we seen enough. We break it down so the truth hit clear. No sugarcoat talk when we speak in here. Stay woke, not sleep, gotta move with sense. Not every trend worth the consequence. They push distractions, we push it fast. Trying to get the culture back on track. Ooh, we just want better days. Real love, real homes, better ways. Ooh, I just speak that truth for the ones coming up after you. Truth over lies, yeah, we locked in. Single by choice, yeah, we tapped in. Couple for the horse, yeah, we building brands. SBC Nation, yeah, we taking stands. Like, comment, subscribe, don't wait. Support the show, yeah, we appreciate. Cash App, super chat, show love, truth over lies. Yeah, we rise above.
Welcome. Live Monday night, Truth Over Lies, brought to you by
Caught before the horse production.
We live. Welcome to
Caught before the horse production.
It's Monday night, Mr. Walker. How you feeling, brother?
Yes, sir. I am feeling fan freaking tastic per usual. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, El Nug Nugs and Le Bonquishas. Welcome to Cart Before the Horse, Truth Over Lies. In affiliation with the Bougie Negro Podcast, and also, as all you Negroes know, in association with Ain't No Fun Once the Rabbits Got to Gun Entertainment. What's going on with you this fine Truth Over Lies Monday?
Yeah! Boom, shakalaka! Welcome in, Truth Over Lies family, Cart Before the Horse family. No matter which channel you watching on, come in, hit the like button, subscribe button, and have a seat.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. After you do those two things so easy a caveman can do it, come on, come all this mighty fine June 29th, 2026. As you can see, Gavin X and I are very much still in the mix, reporting live to you jive chickens with Truth Over Lies.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Tonight, we got a lot to talk about. So make sure you guys are hitting the like button. As y'all can see, it is Monday night. So we shuffling around. We're trying to find a new home for Truth Over Lies. All right. It may be Monday night because Tuesday nights belong back to Single by Choices. So yeah. Boom, shakalaka. We told y'all we were working on a new schedule here to bring y'all not only more content, but more quality content. So Truth Over Lies, it can be Monday night, Wednesday, it can be both some weeks, but Single by Choices is definitely back locked in on Tuesday.
Woo, Single by Choice Tuesdays, the way it used to be. Oh, we got that old thing back, my baby. That's the way I like it. There you go. And y'all got to keep your ears and eyes to the streets to see what day is going to be this Truth Over Lies. We're trying to find the days the most detractors got, time off, because y'all be having a lot to say in the comments. But as soon as we drop the link, shout out to last night's show at the end of the show. Then y'all fumbling and stumbling. Now y'all don't understand electronics no more. I don't know how to do this. How do you click links and things? Shut up.
Man. But nonetheless, we will be dropping the call line tonight. All right. We're going to have designated times to where we will be dropping the link. We'll keep the moderators locked in and let y'all know when callers can call in and weigh in on the show, because we're talking about who can save Black culture and how can we change.
Look at that image. Look at the image. Can we change? Huh? Ask that building. Can it be changed? It's over. It appears we are going to let this burn down. It's an uncontrolled burn. We're gonna let it do what it's due, and then we're gonna have to build from the ground back up. If you ask me, wish it wasn't so. I wish we could all just come together, but y'all niggas ain't showing no improvement.
So here we are. It's Monday night. Monday night feels like a good night for Truth Over Lies. All right. It sort of hijacked Single by Choices, but we got, we're trying to get the cart back in front of the horse, or the horse back in front of the cart, rather. And like I said, bring y'all more content. So tonight, this week, definitely Monday, but some weeks it can be Monday or Wednesday or both.
There we go. We're going to see. Make sure you Jive Chicken subscribe to all 3 channels. Shout out to Cart Before the Horse Nation as a whole. Without you Jive Chickens, we ain't got 3 channels. And I don't think we thank you enough. We probably do, but we're going to continue to thank you. We appreciate y'all.
Man, so make sure you hitting the like button.
Hit that like button. Subscribe. Don't front, cash out. Support the show. Super chat. Let it flow. SBC Nation, we see y'all. Call the photo horse, stand tall.
Shout out to Cover for the Horse. I see Bogus says she want a show every day. Shout out to my barber. You don't want that. You really don't. You don't want that end of the week show. My barber brother Brooks, he said one day he had like 20 appointments lined up. And he said somebody called him, hey man, I really trying to get in. I really need a haircut real bad. I give you $500. You don't want this haircut. You don't want it. I was tired, boss. But we appreciate you, C-Bogus.
There you go. Because like we just said, we want to bring y'all more content, but also quality content. So we don't just want to be up here every day and it's not quality.
Yeah, we can't disrespect y'all jive chickens. Y'all don't hold y'all tongue. Y'all say it. Y'all just start putting booze in the comments. And that's why I love y'all.
So there you go. And unlike most people up here, we actually do got families, wives, kids, and other stuff. So if we could, we would. If we were single men with no kids, we'd be up here every day.
Oh, single man with no kids, I'd be an absolute terror. Hey, I'd be in different cities acting wild. But as a wholesome married man, y'all welcome.
There we go. Yeah! Boom, but nonetheless, we're going to get into it tonight. Like I said, we will be dropping a link periodically throughout the show. Call-in link. You can be on or off camera, if you got something to add to the show.
I'm going to say it again because sometimes they act like they cannot hear. You can be on or off camera. Shout out to, our day ones. They tend to come on camera. But if you a little scared detractor, you ain't got to come on camera. We get it, your nerves and everything. But be respectful as best as you can. We pretty lenient.
Seriously. And shout out to our brother, Jay Tillman. He says, been a member 4 months, need to stop letting others dictate who and what we are.
Amen, brother Jay Tillman. That going right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Shout out to my wonky shirts. I be who I want to be. I don't care how bad y'all niggas talk about me.
Straight like that, straight.
Appreciate you. So speaking of that, we're going to get right into it. So make sure y'all hitting the like button. We talking about, a lot of these images comes from somewhere. So we're going to start here.
Here we go.
The minorities and non-minorities in this country, at least, are not being educated properly, and they're being left on their own devices, single-family homes, and the kids are left on their own, and they're exposed to too many elements that my generation was not exposed.
What kind of elements?
Rap music. The black people I hung around with, it was rhythm and blues and jazz.
So the issue is rap music, not the 400 million guns.
No, you keep getting back to 400 million guns.
Hell! Now, here we go. He started talking about kids. You need to be more specific. Because he said, all right, what kind of trouble? The rap music and the blacks back when. Worry about y'all own damn kids. This is part of the problem. We gonna clean our house up. We hold our people accountable. But it's hilarious, especially people as old as him. This dude's probably 80-something years old. He was a grown man before the Civil Rights Act was passed. Understand the treachery and the blood probably on his hands more than likely. So for him to come up here telling people how to act is crazy.
Amen. Do you not see how heinous this looks? Whenever the judgment and the attempt to chastise comes from outside elements, Elmer Fudd up here wilding. It was those guns and the rap music and that Public Enemy and NWA. Absolutely not. Stop it. Systematic. I get it now. I used to be so ignorant. I used to think they were honestly ignorant. There you go. I was genuinely ignorant, thinking they were being genuinely ignorant to all the systematic racism and barriers. No, they are purposely ignorant, or they just, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, but do a lot of evil.
There we go. So like Mr. Walker hit on a second ago, We don't want them. This is what it looks like. It don't taste good or feel good hearing them trying to clean up our house. And most of tonight gonna be focused on us cleaning up our own house. So we're gonna start here. Obviously, we don't like this, but tonight we're gonna be focused on ourselves.
Smells like accountability.
So we gotta go. They asked everybody to leave orderly. This is not okay. People, these parents that don't take care of their kids, let them come out here and fight, and the police came and shut us down. So in the middle of Live in the Flesh performing, and on top of the fact they had started late, and then they made them, and then they had to end early. We was getting ready to act up bad, and now we got to go because the teenagers. Start carding at the gate. Carding at the gate. We ain't know we was gonna have to make it a age appropriate situation. Yeah. Right here. This right here on this her stuff. That's his stuff. Now we got to go home. We all upset. Everybody upset, angry, mad, pissed off. Cause now we got to leave. Look, they making us leave. I blame the parents of the Gen Zers. Hey, y'all need to discipline our kids.
Here we go. So this was one of them many Juneteenth, I believe, festivals that got shut down due to young brothers and sisters, acting like it's just the boys. It's probably more girls than boys, but nonetheless, we don't need to split hairs. To children and it's to parents. And they just will run flash mobs anywhere they want, unruly. Like I said, I've never, maybe once, I think I was in a movie theater one time years ago. I was in a movie theater, man, and this was over 10 years ago. And I was in there on a date with this chick, and these kids was in there going ham, city kids in the city. And they come into this movie, I don't know what, it had to be a black movie, and they come in there 30 deep or however many of them. And they was in there talking and raising hell, and the police come in. It was a whole deal. I was like, man, so I'm between a rock and a hard place. All these black kids, the white folks calling the cops on them inside the movie theater, and they was cutting up. But it's like, where the parents at? Like, these kids will get on to the bus line, or they ride buses in some of these cities, or trains, and all of them, and they'll go down into the heart of the city. And it's like, where the parents at for real?
I remember the beginnings of this. I remember being a young kid still in grade school. I think early high school. And I remember in our small backwoods hometown, groups of kids would stand in at an intersection. And when you pulled up and stopped at the stop sign, they would jump up and down in your car. I feel like I didn't know what I was seeing. That was the beginning of teen takeovers. And I cannot stress enough how we are from the backwoods. It's too late. Nevertheless, it's too late. Y'all need to take care of y'all kids. Too late. The damage is done. Their kids are out here. You cannot unpour the water on the gremlins. Once they start to mutate and start tweaking out, it's over. That's where we are. They tweaking out. It's got to run its course, whatever that looks like. We can talk about all that too. This can go multiple ways. Ain't none of them good.
Man. And shout out to Nais. Says, all righty, glad we are here and with accountability.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Troublemaker.
Y'all need to discipline your kids. Discipline your kids. We wouldn't have to worry about this. Now I'm hungry. This at the gate, y'all. We got to go home. The police all out here.
It's over.
City of Columbia Police Department. And we parked in their parking lot. All us going home. Look at how the they got to. If they was off duty, they on duty today.
And they think it's funny.
You got to report for a duty.
Because they part of the problem.
Yeah.
They are part of the problem. There's no way y'all don't know any of these kids. Like some of these kids is y'all nephews and whatnot. Hold people accountable. Talking about get the parents. A lot of y'all be friends with people who got badass kids. Call it what y'all don't call them out.
No, they don't call them out. I could tell by her. That is a laugh of pure bliss. They will take excitement however it comes whether it come from playing at the park, fireworks, or nug and or Bonquisha up in the pole and letting off. That's what they are hoping for. This is why this is the part of the hood I hate. The excitement for destruction. Nothing, you know what would be the cherry on top right now? Somebody get the letting off lead. That's what they waiting on. If you weren't on duty now, or today you on duty now. Ha 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 ha. We being so ignorant. All the cops gotta come off of vacation time because we out here wilding. The kids are controlling the adults. This is biblical. Come on, y'all what's the verse where the kids are running the world? Look, these are adults who got to go home because the kids made them. It's over.
He came out here.
This is why I be at my. You telling everybody to move or just the kids? You telling everybody to move or just the kids? I'm just wondering.
Mostly the kids. The kids are the problem down here.
The kids are the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kids are the problem down here. One of them stabbed another kid last night.
I know.
Yeah. And they arrested a kid with a gun. I'm not being patient with the kids. There's no space for them. This is for adults who spend money in businesses. This is not for children just to hang out.
That doesn't even make any sense. It's the NFL draft. This is for kids.
No, it's not for kids.
It is.
It's not for kids.
What are you talking
So this is here in Pittsburgh. All right. This is in the good old city last month or whatever during the draft. All right. And the kids was running mugshot and Market District in some of these places. And like I said, they are there to protect property, and Starbucks back there and all them people like, look, get these people from in front of here. So if you ain't spending bread, you can't just be hanging out, loitering and all of that.
Absolutely not. For those of you who don't know, this is as posh as it gets. This is downtown Pittsburgh. It's all big, shiny glass skyscrapers. You want to know what's sad, Mr. X? There was a pew-pewing here in the same exact spot, I think, a couple of nights ago. As of today. Wild. And I'm sitting here getting upset. This person talking to this officer talking about, I know there was a shanking here last night, but why you tripping though on the kids? He said the kids is out here hanking one another. I know, but we can't be part of the problem.
Talking about? Yes, it is. That's why they're down here.
The NFL draft is for adults who are going to play professional football.
That's all it is.
For adults who spend money.
So all these kids that grow up playing sports who didn't go to the NFL,
they're hanging out for no legitimate reason. They're
hanging out for the draft, just like all these.
You're trying to stir problems with me.
Who?
Yes.
Who?
You are trying to start. Yes.
I was just asking if you were moving the kids only. That's all I was asking.
I'm moving the kids.
Okay, so you said it, then you ain't got to say nothing else. Walk away. Why are you acting like I'm starting a problem with you?
Because you're walking over here recording me.
Absolutely. You're a public servant.
Dickhead? Yeah, exactly.
Because that was, you just said on camera that the kids don't have a place down here. That don't even make sense.
Yeah, they don't. There's no place for them. This is for adults who spend money. Exactly.
And you think that's okay?
Yes, we do this every day. You are never down here.
So now I'm always down here. Don't try to play me because you know I'm down here.
No, you're not.
All right, so walk away because we don't have to argue. I asked you. You said yeah.
You walk up to me.
Listen. Question of tonight, who can save Black culture and how? First way, we got to hold our kids accountable and supervise our kids. A lot of them children down there are 13, 14, 15. They mamas is living hot girl summer at the bars and getting their cheeks clapped, chasing nug. These kids are very much so unsupervised. All right, they about a $2 bus trip away from being right wherever they want to be and raising havoc.
It's over. Whenever Bill Cosby was one of the first people to sound this alarm, yes, he was. And folks, they crucified Bill. This was before all of the allegations and allegations and tainted pudding pops. Like we've been trying to warn y'all, but feminism and all types of different renditions of MK Ultra and COINTELPRO, we are here now. I don't even care to say whose fault it is, but I know it's over. These kids are going to wind up in jail. They trying to start some new crime bill. Mr. X been talking about that, or worse. I don't know what's worse than being in prison, though. It's just like I said, there's a couple ways this can go as far as the correction. None of them are good.
And shout out to Divine Photos with the 5 ball. He says, what ways do we think we can help the community? Whenever we bring up serious issues, they always get offended and call you a sellout for calling it out.
Because you try to get out that barrel. You can't get out that barrel. They got to pull you back down. It's unfortunate. And here's a soothing thought. It's dark but soothing. The vast majority are not going to make it. So there. I mean, that gets some anxiety up off you. It's the vast majority shall fall. That's, again, it's biblical. It's philosophical. It's poetic. Only the few shall remain.
Man.
I ain't got no time to play. I'm just gonna make that goddamn money and keep it moving. You hear me? Just stack, just stack, just stack, just stack and stack and stack. You hear me?
Shout out to our brother Ryan Page, sponsoring the show with a 50 ball. He says, hey fellas and chat, enjoy the content. It has become so bad in my city in Georgia. First time warning, second time $500 fine, third time $1,000. Parents gonna get taxed. Keep up the good work.
Shout out to Ryan Page, always coming through. We appreciate you. It's here. It's already happening. Now we said we needed to check ourselves first as parents, hold ourselves accountable for our children, give them healthy households. Now the law done found another lucrative way, and that's why I get so frustrated, because they end up it compounds. So now they're going to hold you accountable, and they're going to start collecting more funds about you. God dang it.
Yeah, this is wicked. So, man, we appreciate you, brother.
Come on, just bring it. I need you to stand up while y'all not moving. Come on. Don't make me push. Don't make me push. Thank you, sir. There go money. She's touching you. Where they get that money? Where they get that money? I can see money from a long way.
Elder Gregory Kelly,
That's right.
$100.
Everybody get something in your hand. Come on and put it right here.
Appreciate you, Ryan Page. We talked about we talked about this, and I agree that folks need to start getting fined. But now that is here, and I think it through. Yes, it got to happen. But we talking about trying to save our money, keep it in our pockets, and this is just another way they are going to extract these funds. There's probably going to be millions of dollars in fines paid over the next year. And I'm just keeping it light.
Yeah, that's wicked.
What?
You walked up to me.
Okay.
So, as you see, this officer, 5011, around, who said that I don't be down here, he know that's a lie. But also, it doesn't even matter. He said that they're only moving the kids because the kids don't have a place down here.
But they cause problems.
Okay, because they cause problems. I think adults cause problems too, and I'm not arguing. But I'm not arguing that the kids are bad or doing bad things. But these kids are just chilling and trying to enjoy the day.
But if you let them hang out, eventually, when enough of them get together, they cause problems.
So then, what are you doing to give them somewhere to hang out at then?
They should go home. They shouldn't be down here. This is not a hangout for kids.
This is a hangout for kids. I grew up hanging out down here. All right, then shut up. Yeah, take a walk. Goofball. There's more kids than adults down here, and he's talking about this ain't for kids.
I mean, there we go. Like he said, I don't like his answer at all. If they was doing something, hold them accountable. But like he said, if they were sitting there eating or whatever they were doing, maybe not. And he said, once too many ninjas get together, y'all start, like, two things is true, but you got to let it happen. You the cops. We can't keep playing Minority Report out here. So that's where this is going.
Yeah. See? So when I keep saying this all doom and gloom because of stuff like that, Minority Report, they already, enacting that. And this is one of the reasons, this is the primary reason I was looking to become a law enforcement officer, a state trooper, because these cops, they don't have to be such a-holes. Shout out and rest in peace to the one officer that got deleted back in our hometown back in the day. Good guy. He was up in our projects. He rode a bike around. He buy the kids ice cream. He would do his job. You weren't about to do nothing crazy, but he act like he was human. And it was a lot less tension. It just was what it was. But here you can have that same discretion, but you just like, nope, get out of here. Instead of talking to these kids, letting them know you watching them and act like you got some sense there to serve and protect. But I get so triggered seeing that.
And there you go. And it's just rough. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword because y'all still need to get y'all kids. It ain't no excuse to have your kids unsupervised. I don't care if you think they grown. A lot of these kids is 15, 16, 17. You don't want to know where your daughter is at and your son. Your daughter's out probably out here hunching and your son's, like I said, carrying on. You don't know what kind of trouble they could be getting into because you just ain't checking in with them.
I don't know nothing about it. I'm definitely one of those helicopter parents. Yeah, if you also have my look, nah, absolutely not. Like you said, we were young. We know it only take 60 seconds to beat and skeet. Absolutely not.
The minority.
Yeah, so here we go. All right. Like I said, we're gonna keep asking this question. Who can say black culture? And then this guy behind the camera seems like he got a little bit of zest on him. There's that. So it's always they always try to be on the front lines.
I thought I heard a little bit of Hill District accent to him. Yeah, there's some wonky stuff going on in Pittsburgh. Nevertheless, you're right. And everybody can be our primary representation at all, if you ask me. But nevertheless, we all going to be associated with this person behind the camera, and whatever that means.
Man. And shout out to Divine Photos Come Back. He says, ever since they took away the Big Brother, Big Sister programs, kids been lacking guidance to stay out of trouble. Sadly, being a product of their environment.
That's it. We got to get back to a chaperoning. We got to. My wife and I have been talking about that. I believe that's a start. Just parents being around, you know your mom or dad or your friend's mom or dad right around the corner. I would think kids are less likely to act a fool. Just a thought.
And shout out to our brother Postman, been a member 8 months. Says the truth and knowledge on this channel is powerful.
Shout out to our brother Postman over at Mailbox Sports. If you ain't subscribed to Postman, then you ain't black.
Yeah! Boom, appreciate you. And shout out to T, come through, became a channel member.
Appreciate you, T. Cannibals.
Okay. Over there, got the herb and whatnot. We see you. So here we go. Nonetheless, shout out to Divine. You hit on something here. You start talking about these programs being removed. That's because the programs was in the church with people like Jamal Bryant.
Uh-oh.
How do you frame words the way you frame them? You read a lot, or
I do.
Like how? What's your
I read a book a week.
A book a week.
Yeah.
It shows, bro.
Man, thank you.
Some of the words you use, the way you like paint pictures with your words, I need to get better at that. I don't know if you got a crash course because I don't want to read a book a week.
No, but I'll charge you a small nominal fee.
Come on with it.
Yeah, no.
If I lose, it's my fault.
Yeah, my pastor growing up put me on a discipline of reading a book a week. Then my mother had my sister and I write poetry. I used to be in spoken word poetry slams.
Give me one. Give me one. You remember one?
No.
Just give me one.
No.
Give me a part of one.
I can give you other people's poems.
No. Give me one. Come on. You owe the audience. First off, this is your audience. He's supposed to be open and transparent.
Yes.
I need a little bit of one. Just a little bit.
That'll be in subscriber content. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe. I can't give that away for free. I'm going to do a full rendition at the podcast summit of one of my original works. Make sure that you're present and you're there for it.
Listen, this is a pimping pastor. He up here looking like R. Kelly. Listen, dude, he look like a cross between R. Kelly and D.L. Hughley. I don't know what's going on, but he pimping everything. He said, no, you got to pay for that. No, you got to pay for that too. I'm going to put that in the course. Oh, you got to join the membership for that. I mean, you're supposed to be doing God's work. Is that what Jesus was doing when he was here? Was Jesus moving around? Like, yeah, they said, Jesus, we need you. Jesus, hit the like button, Ninja. Yeah, come on now. Make sure you join my membership. How much money you put in the congregation? Jesus, we need bread and water. Jesus said, no, Ninja, y'all ninjas ain't subscribed.
Yeah, you bread and water, you need a healing. Ninja, did you hit the cash? Listen, I ain't knocking nobody's hustle, but this can't be holy. That's our whole thing. Tell it like it is. Back in the old day, Papa need a brand new Cadillac, like shooting dice up here. I ain't mad at it. Shout out to the artsy fartsy folks of the world. I used to back in my day to write a little poetry. I might get a little poetry book. Only person see it is my wife. If y'all want to see it, yeah, there you go. Y'all want to see Mr. Walker's poetry? Oh, I need at least 100 wax. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I need all that. And I'm buying ignorant-ish with it too. I'm letting you know where it's going.
And listen, shout out to Omni. Come through the 10 ball. Says, it's just me or every cop 5 feet tall. Napoleon Complex.
I done talked about this too many times, Omni. If you're going to be law enforcement, they need to bring back standards. You need to be 6 foot plus, be able to bench this, squat that, so that you ain't so easy to be afraid of folks. And yeah, see what I mean? And you can be nicer. I agree, Omni. It's wild.
There you go. So here we go. Jamal Bryant, as we know, is he's a fake and a phony. This is his final form. We about to take a step back in time. As we know, he's in Atlanta now, but he was in Baltimore, and they ran him up out the city.
No, not the good pass, huh?
Original works. Make sure that you're present and you there for it.
A few moments later.
Man, can I holler at you, man? Check this out. This is what we want to know, right? I'm the streets, man. What I want to know, man, cold-blooded, man. You, like I'm saying, man, you say you for the people. You got our people all up in your church. You know what I mean? You're supposed to lead these people, man. And I mean, I understand that y'all stuff, but you had no answers for, like, yo, man, then you come down here like late. Like, time I've been on the ground like 100, like 300-something days. You down here now. Don't come.
What'd you do for Taco
We don't want you nowhere in our city, yo. Like, you don't need, yo, we don't want you on our streets. Like, you disrespect our streets, man. This me, PFK Boom. I was on the front, you disrespected up here north, and you came down there, you ain't even fighting no war with us, yo. You ain't had nothing on your show, you ain't had no guns or nothing. And then you fucking with our oppressors. Wow. What you mean, how? You fucking with Roland Blake and all them, man. You trying to kill us, man.
Where were you for
That's you are, man. Well, we telling you are. The streets feel like you killing us, man. All right. I won't come on. No, we don't want you in our fucking city now. Then get the fuck out the whole city. Is it that easy? That we can really get you the fuck out of here? No, sir. Well, you check this out, man. Don't come nowhere down here no more. Wherever PFK Boom at, don't come. I know you can tell your henchmen. I know you, yo, Timmy and all them. I know you before I seen right about all that. Get the henchmen. Don't come down here no more. Boom said it. Me, as a man, the streets don't want you here. I'm speaking for them. So we see you here. Okay. So you said you won't come on my motherfucking streets no more, right? Don't bring your ass down here no fucking more. I mean it, yo. On my fucking kids, yo.
This is Jamal Bryant when he was trying to be an evangelist, trying to pimp out the community in Baltimore, going into these places. Like the dude said, you rubbing shoulders with the oppressors, you hanging out with the other folks, then you come down here and take our money. And that's what he do. We just seen him up on that stage. That's his final form. But look at when he was younger, 20-something years ago. Come on now. He got ran up out of Baltimore.
Religion has become way too political. And religion ain't about giving folks, spiritual guidance and trying to enrich their lives in that manner. It's a freaking cash leg grab. That's the problem. That's what this brother talking about. Y'all ain't helping. Y'all keeping mother suckers stagnant. Big Ma and them been paying their tithes, building fund, pastor anniversary, ladies night, bingo night, fish fry Fridays, all that for 30 plus years. And then when she passed away, pastor like, I need at least 8 wax to do this service. And you like, what? And that's light work. That churches are straight up taking the houses. Some of these churches are having these old women pretty much get reverse mortgages with the church. It's absolutely predatory. There ain't no way you can describe, we helping them. Y'all ain't there. Y'all are putting all this money back in y'all own pockets.
I'm speaking for them. So we see you here. Okay. So you said you won't come on my motherfucking streets no more, right? Don't bring your ass down here no fucking more. I mean it, yo. On my fucking kids, yo. Cause you're a fucking disgrace. A guardian angel for Satan. For who? Cause you damn sure ain't guarding me, nigga. Get the fuck up out of here.
What you do for Tyrone West again?
Empower what? This dick, nigga.
Salute to the OGs. Like you say, the brother might be, war torn, been to prison, whatever. Y'all call him sticky fingers. But he like, look, you ain't about to keep bringing your pimping ass down here, stealing from the community, shucking and jiving, sleeping with the women, all right, having babies out here, all the madness he was doing. This dude's a tyrant.
He got off easy. This brother has some reform. He didn't let it all loose on him because, I could see in this, getting physical real quick. He in the heart of the beast. Ain't no way out. Yeah, he better thank his lucky stars. Brian had a guardian angel with him that night, but obviously being recorded, you got to be careful, but he got off easy. But now look, do it seem like he atoned? Huh? Do it seem like he atoned from what he was doing, or did he just level up his pimping?
He just walked away like a coward. Like he said, wearing that shirt, talking about God's guardian angel, and you down there selling hope. And that's what we're talking about. So we'll probably drop the link here real quick for about 10 minutes. Anybody want to come up? I mean, who can save Black culture? The church? Is it the church? Can the church come through with their cape? People like Jamal Bryant, all right, Creflo and TD and them?
No, absolutely not. And that's what's being, so that's the problem. Here I go. I got mixed emotions. I can't recall who I was talking to, but we was having this conversation. I grew up in the church. I grew up under the Christian influence, but I recall as a child, there was still some clear cut and dry, non-sin coddling Old Testament teaching, stuff that made sense, things that could not be misinterpreted. And with that, I do believe that it served a great purpose to the community. I often say it helped give me a moral compass, a conscience. Do no evil, thou shalt not delete. You know what I mean? Growing up in the hood, you need that grounding because it's easy. The environment is easy to go out there and delete and do evil things. So I believe there is some solution in that church of yesteryear. But this church, like you were saying, led by the Jamal Bryants and the TD Jakes and the prosperity pimping preachers, no, absolutely not.
And shout out to Ryan Page, been a member 6 months, says it's pimpantry.
Pimping.
Very much so. So there we go. We dropped the link for a minute. Anybody want to call up? All right. As far as this portion of the show, before we move on, this was a throwback clip. Residents confront Pastor Jamal and tells him to leave the neighborhood, quit coming down here. That's wild though. Because I remember growing up in the hood and people would pull up, the church would pull up with their megaphones and speakers and post up with tents, and they're going to give you the word of God right in the projects. But these, like you said, these were holy folks, grandmas and stuff. It was not pimps like this. I don't remember when these dudes showed up, but when they showed up, here they are. But back in the day, it was sort of older people, women.
And listen, I've been attacked by evangelists many a day. One day I'm coming out, look just like this. For the most part, very similar to projects we lived in. The red bricks. Picture this. I'm coming out the breezeway of the apartments, and my older sister and the female pastor for the church, they approached me. They said they came at me like two velociraptors. I was on my way trying to go get some cheeks, and they came to me and they said, "You conflicted." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I got tattoos. So on one arm, I got, Jesus and the two thieves on the cross. And on the other arm, I got the image of the Grim Reaper. They said, you conflicted. You got God on one arm and the devil on the other. So I ain't conflicted at all. I said, I think we both of them, if you ask me. Huh? Some days you're godly, some days you're evil. And they know what to say to me. I think they banished me to hell. But here I am today. Oh, they used to get on my nerves. I got stories. They came to the hood. I'm talking about walking around chalk outlines hood. So I commend them for their bravery. But man, they was wild. It's a wild creatures.
And not only that, but shout out to the Nation of Islam. I remember way back when I was a kid in the early 90s, the Nation of Islam 30, plus years ago, used to walk around, knocking on doors, selling incense and whatever the case. But the nation would show up, and what they think. They'd be down there praying, doing their whole thing, and they'd be around often. They'd show up for security. They used to be security too. So the nation used to be security in the projects. All right, before they hired security, they would handle things like, look, Bone Quisha trying to throw Nug Nug out the house and Nug Nug putting up a fight, the nation to show up. Now, not knowing, I'm sure somebody probably went in after him to clap cheeks, more than likely. But nonetheless, they got abusive Nug Nug out.
Listen, I love the militant aspect of the Nation of Islam. I'm not too heavy into organized religion, all like that, because it is to some degree some control, but a lot of folks need control. I know, gripe, but I likes that. That's what's up, man, because they had the numbers, they bow ties, they weren't playing. I didn't know that, Mr. X. See, that was honorable. But like you said, at some point, they had to get spread thin. Something had to go wrong. Yeah, you in the hood. And you see here, like, in the hood, Black folks in the hood, really, the only authority they respect is a badge and a gun. That's really it. Freaking constables, bounty hunters, man, you a civilian, you can catch this work. So salute to the Nation of Islam for taking on such, I say, a tall task. That's what's up,
man.
Cause you're a fucking disgrace, a guardian angel for Satan. For who? Cause you damn sure ain't guarding me, nigga. Get the fuck up out of here.
What you do for Tyrone West again?
Empower what? This dick, nigga.
Jamal Bryant, you should be ashamed of yourself for selling out your people for your fame and your wealth. SRB, we know where them perks went. Fuck 12. Leave the city, that's your first step. Take Davis in the war room and your cousin Brandon Scott. 300 men and they payments. They love a photo op. We taking back our city, one step at a time. Walk in solidarity. This is the front line. Now the Mosby's gotta go. Billy Murphy, you can leave. Got my right fist high saying fuck the police. We lead the sword nation. Shy and Keys, Shorty Underground the gun, and Brother Naeem, Shelly Helping Hands, boom. We playing for keeps. Go nuts for you. It's the queen of the streets.
It's a lot to take in here. All right, Bone Quisha. We love our sisters, but come on now, it got to be a balance. They on the front lines, though. Shout out to them, big brutish sisters. All right, I hope y'all walking it like y'all talking it. Don't just be doing this and you are self-destructive.
Hey, listen here. They ain't talking about dating and mating. They being their true self. People gonna be who they can be. I'm over trying to change folks. Do your thing, sister. Just know what comes along with this lifestyle. That's always been our message, and they never warped or altered. Know what comes along with this behavior. Sisters like this don't turn around talking about, I want me a strong, dominant Mr. 666. Shut up. You stopped qualifying for that when you became Sister Soldier. Rock on, sister. Rock on, but it's over.
There you go. And the whole time you see Jamal Bryant just fading out. I don't know where he parked at, but he done walked over 100 yards. He's just walking. All right. He done parked 3 blocks away. He just walking up and down the hood trying to collect money and get people to come to his church. So even if he ain't out there now, he's trying to convert you. Oh, I like what this guy is saying. Where can I get more? Oh, come on down to 1826, Parker Avenue at the church. And that's what they out there to do, to get customers.
I tell you what, time has passed and time has told us Pastor Brian was walking towards millions of dollars, millions of subscribers, and millions of followers. Y'all can say what y'all want. Oh, look at him. He walking away like a chump. He was walking, and every time he took a step, the pavement under his feet was glowing like Michael Jackson. And then what song was that? Billie Jean? I think, yeah, I got the song right. Yeah. Y'all can laugh. He may be a punk, he may be a chump, but he came a rich chump, and they don't care. That's today. Forget your moral compass. Forget what folks think about you. Long as I got a lot of money and trinkets, I'll soothe my soul with my shiny things.
Man, yeah, this sister here. Nonetheless, all right, Brutus sisters. And I see we got somebody backstage. We'll bring you up real quick before we move off this topic. Welcome up, brother. Brother Creator. What's up, brother? What's going on? You muted.
Testing the mic 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Sound good? Yes, sir. Welcome up.
All right, man. Listen, so I'll make this quick because they say creator long-winded. Who gonna save our community, man? We gonna save our community. We being the black men. Who else supposed to save our community? We the only warriors, and whatever knowledge that we need to acquire in order to make that happen, I think we got capacity to make that shake. Can't be worrying about who not gonna listen and who not gonna follow. We just got to create our plan, right? Keep walking. Don't turn around to chastise or to teach. No hand holding. We keep walking. Those that want to stick, that want to follow, and it's almost like the Moses complex, right? We have to build this community knowing that we may not be the ones that actually benefit from it, the life benefit, if you will. It's more life insurance for the death benefit, right? So when we go, then now we can look at those that we taught that's coming up under us, right? We gave them the game, and not only did we just give it to them, told them what we showed them, we actually walked with them and showed them and got them at least started. So now we have a trajectory for our young men, because before young men go pulling women, right, we got to give them a great head start. Let them know how they need to be financially, right? Let them know how they need to be spiritually, which is the start, right? You saying, hey, we're not really church guys. We very spiritual, right? Very and tribal. And I think us wanting to reach into that natural tribalness about us, we kind of latch on to these and these other folk know it, right? They soul harvest, they energy harvest, they know exactly what's going on. But there was a point where we didn't know, we didn't understand this God, this thing we call God. That's our power. That's all of us that are living, breathing, and existing, and kind of feeling this same thing. Without human element, none of this matters, right? Why would it matter? We wouldn't, if there was no humans on earth. So we there is this social element that we have to have, but it start with the men. When we talking about whatever we talking about, the Keishas, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the bougie women, whatever it is, at the end of the day, they all have to be led. When you employ somebody, I don't care if she Keisha, Pookie, Ray Ray, or she got a degree. I need her to come to work every day and do what they supposed to do at the end of the day. Whether she's gonna have a bonnet, she's still gonna show up for work, right? So we need the bottom, the janitor, and we need the executives all to know to start off at a certain degree, right? And if that starts with us, what do we want, right? Somebody, a good guy of mine asked me, what type of king do you want to be? And so whatever the type of king we choose to be, that's how we're going to lead. It's your house. How do you choose to lead your house? How do you run your business? It all starts with you, and it all stops with you. So if we don't give examples of what we want, right, and then have a little bit of grace, not a lot of grace, but we got to have a little bit of grace for those that actually want to follow. For those that don't want to follow, ain't no more hand holding, bro. It's peed on to get speed on it. Speed on to get peed on at this point. We already too far behind.
Well,
and we can't act like everybody don't have the capacity to learn, mature, and upgrade.
So I hear what you're saying. So to break it down for more simpler, it starts with family, right? So we got to get back in the home, marriage. How important is that?
We still have to learn our men. That's where we prepping our men for, right? Who's going to build these legacies? Does he even know what a legacy is? What type of I never heard that word before. And again, that starts with the men. We've set the foundation for now and later. If women later start to talk about what they want and don't want, and the men start to want to paint themselves in a way that don't agree, let them walk over there. We shouldn't have nothing to do with that over there. We have a whole different nation that we building, right? And those that are part of another nation that don't want to be a part of this nation that should be progressive, right? That should be financially in a financial trajectory that's different from what they're talking about. We're going to be in 2050. If you haven't heard it, they're saying in 2050, black people won't own anything. We won't have any assets, and we'll be like totally dependent on the system. So that will be correct if we don't jump in again as the men. I can't depend on the women. We the leaders. There's only one culture, and we in it. So what we gonna do? Keep talking about somebody else that's gonna come in and say we don't do that in real life. You don't ask nobody to come in and pay your bills, to take care of you, to handhold. We don't do that in real life. So now all of a sudden, when it comes time to want to change our whole community, this means we all have to mature. There's a degree of maturity that we have to accept, a degree of humility, again, that we're gonna have to accept, right? Meaning we can't get so abrupt if somebody call us in-fied N-words, right? There's ways to handle that other than hitting somebody in their mouth. You know you can get paid if you get it on tape. You get what I'm saying? You know you can destroy people if you get it on tape. So we need to start being a little more smarter about these people appropriating our culture. Instead of us getting upset about it and talking about, hey, let's start taxing them and waxing them. We can't even say the J word. We got to call them little bitty hats now. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? There's retribution to the disrespect you want to impose on people. And at some point, the cost of it is not worth it. And I think that's what we need to implore for the rest of the world, to let them know that there's going to be a change in the way that we move, how we handle each other. First off, if we're not handling each other properly, how would it be for you to respect me if 3 out of us, right? If 2 of us out of the 3 don't respect each other, it would sure be challenging for that one to respect those. You get what I'm saying? So if we don't change that right there, what I'm teaching you, I'm not trying to tell you to be perfect, because it's not about no perfect men, right? All our leaders, none of them were perfect. So we can point to all their imperfections. It's not about perfection. It's about trajectory. It ain't about love. It's about trajectory. All of this is about us getting back to where we are the men of the family. There's going to be a surrendering that has to happen between the men, right, and our women. We're going to have to surrender that this is what you got. All right. And we have to surrender that, hey, this is what we got. And now we mold and we build together.
Let me see this, bro. Let me slow you down. You're going. You cooking. Let me slow.
My bad.
Because he got something to say. I'm gonna get these super chats because a lot of these folks don't agree with you. What you got, Mr. Walker?
That's fine.
I was gonna say, hey, you was Old Testament biblical the first quarter of your speech there. You said you weren't gonna be long-winded. You lied to us, but you was cooking, brother. I like what you said. You know, what type of king talk to these young men as we are helping guide them to manhood, asking what kind of king do they want to be. I like that. I asked my son that. Do you want to try to be that loathing, prideful, blowed out king sitting on the throne eating a drumstick? Or do you want to be a warrior king, the one that's out front whenever confrontation comes, the one that's actually putting in the work that has earned his respect? I say it's definitely the latter. You want to be a part of the solution. You want to set the example, because that first king I described, he always ends his reign being beheaded every single time, no exceptions. But I like I said, the first quarter, absolute gospel. We guys got to move forward. There's enough of us to move this thing forward. The masses aren't going to follow. They will be, casualties. It's most unfortunate. It don't feel good, but it's the truth.
And shout out to Unc. Unc says you can't lead those unwilling to follow.
Yeah.
And he also says blaming men for female inability to follow is nuts. And also Mr. Wilson, Ichiban come through, says it's like string. You can pull it, but not push it. So, and when we got Unc come back, he says a king with majority peasant women is doomed. So I hear what you're saying, more or less what they are, they hitting on is, you trying to tell these men to be the cleanup man for a lot of these women that have made mistakes.
Not at all.
All right, so that's what they're interpreting. So what are you saying then?
So I'm saying for those that feel like you cleaning up, I think I'm talking to those of us that are dads. First off, I'm a dad and I pride myself in being a father, right? And I think it starts there. That wasn't even a thing in my generation. There was no pride for your dad, right? It was always pride for the mom because dad was imperfect. So how can we be prideful for somebody that's not there? He wasn't, he wasn't her Mr. Huxtable. Let's start there. So, and we had a lot of women that would come and say, well, the man is not this, the man not that, the man not this, and then they raised, by these women. So again, there is nobody.
Oh, we lost your sound. We lost you.
Yeah, that was my bad.
There you go.
Okay, mic check 1 2 1 2.
You back? But yeah, just let us know. Like I said, the misunderstanding is they think you're saying be a cleanup man.
No, I'm saying what we need to do. So maybe for the men that have already jumped off the porch and had a relationship or whatnot, and may not have worked out the way that they wanted to. Again, it may be a little more challenging. But for the young men that hasn't had that relationship yet, that hasn't jumped off the porch and rented instead of purchasing a home, that he can build a family and a legacy with a woman. You know how much easier it is for a man who's already has a domicile to now his position, not knowing what he looked like, but he's already showing security to the women, to the prospective women that's out there. So you know how easy that woman will now surrender. Is she quote unquote supposed to be a baddie, and that's what you want or whatnot? The first thing any woman gonna want is security, right? How are we gonna do this? Where are we gonna do this? And if you already secure, that comes from your daddy, right? Your father's gonna set you up. Hey, son, before you leave this house, you need to have X. The school, the colleges, none of them should be more knowledgeable than the general of your house, which is your father. Right. And so before you leave the home, the father should have already taught you certain skills and set you up. Because remember, the goal is setting our kids up. So you set them up properly. Again, this ain't about being rich. It has nothing to do with riches. It has everything to do with strategy and setting them up properly. So now they can move through the world with confidence. He can now build this legacy again, not perfection, but with confidence. He at least has a strategy that he can implore before he actually gets out here. And that's a JIC, just in case he has a baby mama and didn't get married or whatever the situation is, he's prepared. He's not unprepared now when going in like my father and them was.
Well, I want to cut you off there. I want to put some parameters on that. If we're talking about guiding the youth and making sure they're better prepared, them having baby mamas got to be an X factor at that point. That can't be a factor.
I agree. That's why he's getting prepared, because he's preparing for a wife to build a legacy with. You see what I'm saying? So yes, it's his, and again, that's up to us to set him up. Whether you purchase that property in his early days and it's paid off, by the time he turns 18, he's got somewhere to live, or he stays with you, right? Until, like I do for my children, they can stay with me as long as they want. They have investment properties that's making them money, so now they can build. So when it's time for them to leave, if they want to, if a man has capacity, he can snatch my daughter up, then he knows what the expectations are. She does too. Same with my son. When he's ready to leave, he's got properties and enough revenue he can post up wherever he feels like it, because he's not married. She's not married. So now it looks different for their prospective suitors. You see how we prepping them up for what it is that happened. But yes, just in case something happens, they're not in detriment and dependent on the government type situation, or even me at that point. I don't want to make it hard on me. I'm focusing on my retirement. You understand? Still. So I don't want to take portion of my retirement. And again, we're not talking about riches. We're talking strategy. So when I teach my kids, as soon as you start working, you prepare for your retirement. And then I have to give them a basis for what that looked like, because that's you collecting and acquiring assets to share with people that you're going to actually have in your life. They don't belong. Nothing belongs to them. All of this is yours, and you're sharing these things with other people that come into your life. Now you see how that happens when you go get girlfriends or a wife, or you hear how when you deliberate, when parenting is deliberate, the kids move deliberately. There's no ambiguous expectations. I'm telling you exactly what it is, and I'm showing you exactly what I expect. Now you can go ahead and hit the eject button at any point you feel like you don't have the capacity.
Well, listen, OG, listen, you came up and cooked. Shout out to he says, put that woman first is over, OG. They unqualified.
I feel you. Yeah, you ain't getting no debate from me. There.
Listen, man. Hey, stick around because we got the people backstage. You could probably come back up later tonight when we get into these different topics, and you definitely came up and cook. We appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate your respect to you, man, as a father, man.
Y'all, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
Yes, sir.
Respect, brother. And also backstage, we see Mr. 40. Welcome up, brother.
Good to see you, brother.
How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to see you, man.
Hey, great. Been watching a long time, man. Appreciate the chance to get to come up, speak to you guys directly, you know?
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks, yeah. Always in the chat. Good to put a face to the comments. How you doing? What you got on the topic?
Man, I think it go back to just home training. Like we don't have that no more. I know in the old days it was a thing called home training. You know, you just acted and behaved a certain way. You had a certain decorum about yourself, you know. And
yes,
you know,
that was it. That's my growing up. Even though we grew up rough, wasn't always with my mother. She always said that act like you got some home training. I still say that. Heck yeah. Like act like
even if you didn't. I think the people in the community are weaker. So I think we got weaker men and women because single moms have always been around. But like you said, we had more respect for our elders and all of that. Nowadays, people ain't saying nothing to these kids. You know, the old folks, they are watching these kids carry on. Everybody afraid of them, like Mr. Walker said, and we in bad times.
And what do you think about back in the day how other elders in the community could chastise your kids even if it got physical? Do you think something like that needs to come back where other elders have authority over kids? That seemed to work back in the day. Sound like a scary thought today, but what do you think?
it used to work, but just looking at that Carmelo case, you can't put your hands on these kids or try to even talk to these kids nowadays. I mean, my sister got kids I can't even say a word to, even though it might be beneficial to them and save them some struggle in life.
That's ridiculous. I know. I can't be a hypocrite. Kind of to say. I still say what I got to say, Mr. 40. Like, you got to get it off, man. I'm saying it. I'm going to say it. Like, I'm big on tablets. So, like, you know, I see babies with tablets. I tend to go off on that. Does it change immediately? No. But at least
I think it's the age. I was gonna say, how old are they? Because I got some older nephews. Like after a while, yeah, once they phase out, you ain't gonna keep repeating yourself once they grown.
They teenagers now, but I was around them since they was babies pretty much, and it was just the same thing. It's like, don't tell me nothing, don't tell my kids nothing, and I feel pain the best teacher. So y'all want to go down that road, go ahead. You gonna learn one way or the other. You know, you gonna learn the easy way or the hard way.
You ain't lying. See, I agree. Y'all crazy like me. Pain is the best teacher. Amen. However, the pain that they trending towards ain't no coming back. See, we was bumping our heads, Mr. 40. We was bumping our heads, busting our knees to the white meat. They out here skydiving off of skyscrapers. So they smashing their head wide open, meaning they making mistakes. We all make mistakes, but they are making mistakes a lot of them can't come back from. So I agree with you. I just, again, the bumping of the head has changed from a knot on the head to, brain matter all over the place.
Well, just being a Monday morning quarterback, Mr. X, I always speak on it. My sister still stepped the hell out of Kudikata, and that was the problem. You can't have all them little babies trying to raise them by yourself and think life gonna be good. It's gonna be a struggle. I mean, I was married when I had kids, and it was a struggle shit with another partner, doing it together, with two incomes. So I can only imagine, what she going through.
Say I
And
be
then, like
saying
I
the
say, you
same thing,
can't.
Mr. 40. I say that same thing. I'm like, I know what me and the missus going through. I know the struggles that we have. You know, we can laugh through them and can still enjoy one another through them, but they ain't fun. Some stuff ain't fun. It's annoying, it's aggravating. I can't imagine doing it by myself or even the missus doing it by herself. It's absolute hell. I agree.
I think a lot of single mothers though take for granted what the father bring to the home. Just that peacefulness, that stoicism that a dad bring to them kids is way different than she can ever give them, and that's why they yell till they blue in the face with badass kids. Because again, they not seeing that example being set of somebody being calm or somebody going through a difficult time and still chilling or figuring out solution based as opposed to being emotion based. And that's what it is. We got a generation of extra emotional people running around, and again, no calmness, no instruction, no structure. Like the foundation is just built on. The foundation is not built on solid ground. It ain't built on granite. It ain't built on nothing worth, even building on. And that's why it's falling apart at the seams. And we're seeing that with these teen takeovers. And you see parents at some of the teen takeovers. It ain't just the kids. That's the crazy part. Like you got YNs who mama 12, 13 years older than them, or daddy, the same, and they out there with them, as opposed to, telling them to do something different or showing them some other options or getting them some skills that's going to make them some money. I don't know.
My God, you done made it dark. I didn't know the parents was there too. My goodness. But yeah, you ain't said nothing but the gospel, brother. Your thoughts is my thoughts.
I was going to say, listen, brother, we appreciate you coming up for this segment. We got plenty more tonight, so you're definitely welcome to call back up.
All love, man. And keep doing what y'all doing, man. Salute.
Yes, sir. Don't be a stranger, brother.
So here we go. Listen, we talking about solutions. Who got solutions better than this ninja here? All right. Umar.
Hear him out. Don't y'all hear Umar out. If he don't say nothing about butter pecan thighs, give him some grace this evening or not.
What's the first job of a man? To protect and provide. The protect part, we can do better on that, but some of us can do that. But to be able to provide, that's where black men are hurting, because a lot of us are not given that opportunity to provide for our families. That creates the stress that indirectly leads to the murder. Let me give you an example. He's in a Chinese store tonight. I just got fired from my job. I just got fired after 30 years. They laid me off. I walk into the Chinese store. He look at me the wrong way. What the F you looking at? Guess what? He ain't got a job looking for one. He mad at the same thing I'm mad at. 3 babies, 3 child supports, whatever the case is. We get into a fight, I kill him. The headlines will say another black man murdered a black man in South Philly in the Chinese store, probably fighting over a blunt. They don't know the real reason we got into that scuffle is because both of us are suffering the same oppression, economic castration.
Yes. Well, how do we make it better, though? Because
I'll tell you how you make it better.
And
problems don't change just because the time is rolling, brother.
You're right. But I'm seeing homes in this area that I can't even afford.
Oh,
and I see that
black bourgeoisie has aided the Caucasian in removing blacks out of all the major inner cities in America. It ain't just Philly. They doing it in Harlem, DC. You can go to certain cities now. They even starting to work on Atlanta, believe it or not, Black Chocolate City. Okay, it was DC. Now it's Atlanta.
Where we gonna go then? Shout out to Rachai. He said Mississippi. All right, hustlers, philosophers, some of y'all. And Umar hitting on something. Economic castration is a reason a lot of folks is fighting. Shout out to Ebony Dean. That's why we need our reparations. All right, we've been fighting the same sort of fight since we came off the plantation. A lot of our families. I mean, here and there's folks like a Gavin X or Mr. Walker that might be a silver lining or a shining light, but it's mostly darkness.
Economic castration. He hit the nail on the head. Hear me. This is where Dr. Umar makes a lot of sense. We lived it, experienced it. You don't know what you are experiencing, but when you are in the midst of it, though, me and Mr. X, we came to the realization that idle, ambitious mind is dangerous. We realized that as children in high school, because we were always very ambitious, but our situation had us sitting idle. And we had an overwhelming drive to be resourceful. And what else do you expect these men to do when the only thing that's around to be resourceful with is crack? Then you get led towards the outcome, not making any excuse for debauchery. However, I get it, because a man got to be able to provide. I witnessed one of my stepfathers. He was a who's who of the community working in the steel mill, and then they shut the steel mill down. He went from being a proud church-going man, super stepdaddy, to being a fiend because he lost his resourcefulness. This is what men go through. But due to the burden of stoicism, men can't sit here and say, "Oh, I can't get a job. I feel worthless." That ain't gonna help his cause
at all. And shout out to the brother creator. It goes back to what he said. The only thing is, it's going to take generations to crawl out of it. So, I mean, at this point, we're speaking to the minority of people that are married, raising families. You know, that's sort of what it all takes. And it's going to take generations for us to teach our kids, and then they teach their kids, hopefully, and it can snowball. But we got to crawl before we walk.
There you go. And that's we preach it up here. And that's it. We got to have some degree of martyrdom. Some of us, we're going to sacrifice our life energy. We may not see our children living that existence that we want for them. And some of us got to be okay with it. Woo, hard pill to swallow.
But this was a national movement. Guess when they decided to do it? Y2K. It was in the year 2000 that they decided that they was going to go back to the inner cities and take them back. And why did they want to come back to the inner cities in the first place? They never wanted to leave. Why did white folks run away from the inner city? Because after the Dr. King era integration, housing and urban development, they had to let us in. So white folks ran to the suburbs because part of the burden of being white is always looking like you're better than black folks. So they had to run away to live their own private life. And then guess what the black bourgeoisie did? Followed the white folks out to, because we love white folks. So they said, if these Negroes love us this much, that no matter where we go, they're going to follow us, we might as well go to hell back home. And that's why when a lot of white people moved out in the 60s, they never sold their property. They just became landlords, but they never relinquished their control because they knew one day they were going to come back home. Listen, don't no white person want to sit in traffic for 90 minutes going to an Eagles game. Don't no white person want to sit in traffic for 2 hours going to a Sixers game. It is convenient to live Susquehanna Avenue. Yes. It is convenient to live on Girard Avenue. It is convenient to live on Allegheny Avenue. 3 stops from downtown, 8 stops from the sports complex. White folks is like, we paying all this money to live in the suburbs. It is so inconvenient to get to the culture of Philadelphia and to the sports complex.
And that's weird that a lot of these trends, you know, they go on all over the country. And all of us, no matter where you at, can see some of the stuff going on. You know, like he said, they moved out to the suburbs 20, 30 years, however long ago. But now they coming back to the city. Black folks had some of the most prime real estate, and especially here in Pittsburgh. You know, we could speak on our city, and like he talking about Philly and so many more of these cities where we had the areas closest to downtown. They were slums, you know, for the most part, and the infrastructure was terrible. And then now it's all being regentrified.
There you go. So they knew what they were doing. We were all jammed. The impoverished and poor working class was all pushed closer to the industry so they could go to work. There was a rhyme and a reason, and it was dirty. The Industrial Revolution was gross and filthy. That's why they had to bring in certain safety organizations like OSHA, because it was not cool. It was dirty, grimy. And the last place you want to be is covered in the soot of the city. So I get it. Folks moved out, the rich and affluent, the whites moved out to where the air was clean. But now, due to technology and investments, now it's clean in the city. And then, like I said, that's where everything is happening. Time for a change. All y'all poor folks, get to the outskirts. We're going to be in the city. But you want to know what? Fret not, poor folks, because in the event of a zombie apocalypse, last place you want to be is the inner city. So we up.
So there you go. Like you said, and it got a lot to do with infrastructure. Like I said, back in them times, then they start building all the skyscrapers and sports. A lot of it's sports and entertainment. So when they start building these stadiums everywhere, all right, we putting a big stadium here. White folks like, we got to get back into action now. Like, even here, like saying Pittsburgh up off of PPG Arena, right up the hill, you in the Hill District, all black folks within walking distance of the damn PPG. And white folks like, whoa, this is prime real estate. And now they taking it all back. Same thing with, close down by the Steelers Stadium, off of Arlington, all that stuff back there. They just come taking it all back. They like, y'all right next to the stadium and don't even understand.
And they making it to posh, high-end living. It's beautiful. And yeah, I said it, the hipsters, they come into this backwoods country town. Pittsburgh, one of the smallest cities out there, got that old world charm. About to be full of all hipsters and Google employees.
Man, and shout out to Sean Miller. He says, I truly understand why KS would talk more to women than men. Most men provide for themselves, but the unreal expectations of women raises the level of living.
Okay. Okay. You're right on Sean Miller.
Appreciate you, brother. And Merciful come through the 20 ball, says ninjas fake, progressive and woke. I started saying less and I had to stop it. Peeped how they profit off of racial stress. Some activists got so rich, they probably wish we stayed oppressed.
I see. Yeah, hold up. Was that some poetry, some spoken word? Shout out to Merciful.
Appreciate you.
So they said, why don't we swap? Right. How you going to change it if you can't? You can't change it if you can't claim it. One of the things we got to stop doing is being afraid to be unapologetic about our reality. We are in a desperation state. This is a state of emergency. We ain't got time to be worried about nobody's feelings. I could give a damn what a Negro think about me. Shame the devil and tell the truth. Shame the devil and call. We love you, boy. You know we love you, boy. What's the difference between Barack Obama and Clarence Thomas? Nothing. And Ben Condoleezza? Nothing. We know systematically with the economics and the politics of crime. We know that. When jobs are up, crime is down. When jobs are down, crime is up. But now you're saying, let's look at the black community. I'll roll in this. And I'll tell you what it is very emphatically. Black men have allowed the youth to break code in the community. I have never seen this. Black men, those of us 40 and over, 30s too, but more so 40 and over, because they clearly recognize us as the OGs. We have allowed our sons and nephews and cousins and next door neighbors to get so far out of hand with this violence that we now afraid of them. I want to be clear about something. As long as the youth know that the elders are scared of them, this won't stop.
Yeah, it's biblical. We've been stressing it. And it starts at home, though. I gotta keep saying that. The parents, a lot of these parents know just how horrible their children are. For the most part, I learned this when I was coaching football. You can't tell these parents nothing. You would try to tell them, look, this kid, this and that, but they will blame you. You are a bad coach. My kid is not a bad kid. Why is he being reprimanded? Why y'all always yelling at him? It's like, why y'all playing favoritism? Ain't no favoritism. There's good kids and there are bad kids. And, you can treat everybody fair, but everybody is not equal. So you treat all the kids fair, but some of these kids is bad, and you're going to treat the good kids like good kids. And there's a distinction. And I've seen over the years, some of these very kids end up, years later going to jail, and some of them even been deleted. God rest their souls. And you try to save these kids, but a lot of these parents, man,
they're not respectable. I can reflect back on when I was a kid. I don't know if y'all did it, but as a kid, you get a temperature for an elder. You do. You dang near smell them and see whether or not they respect them. I'm gonna listen to you to a certain degree or wholeheartedly. Shout out, rest in peace to one of my elders, Miss Cuffy, man. She was a teacher. Awesome sister, man. She was so stern, so thorough, so honest. She could get away with whooping me. Yes, because she didn't ever lie. She told the truth. She was honest. She stuck to her word. But somebody else, you gonna get some pushback. You have to be fighting a little kid. These kids will only respect those elders that are respectable. This is coming from experience as one of those troubled kids. Umar cooking, he hitting on something. He definitely is. We got to stop with the cowardice. Gavin X and I have touched on that many times.
And I want to say this very, very decisively. Globally, Philly, wherever you at, because it's global. Whatever you see in Philly, you see around the world. It's a Pan-African issue. But nonetheless, until black men take the streets back, it will always remain a wild, wild west. We have to literally go to the streets in droves and say, brothers, it's a new day. Hand out a new paper. These are the new rules. It's a phone number. Somebody threaten you, call this number. You know what I mean? Somebody, gang violence, you call this number. And we got brothers who ain't funded by white folks. White folks ain't got nothing to do with this. This is grassroots black men solving their own issues. And if we take the streets back, we can end this in 6 months. Yes, we can. But here's the problem. Yes, we can. Here's the problem. You got 2 issues with taking the streets back. There's a lot of people who make money by pimping black pain in poverty projects. You understand? Black poverty is a $1 billion industry. If you solve the black on black crime, a lot of people going to be out of work. You know how many prisons will shut down if we stop the violence? You know how many probation officers would be out of jobs? How many halfway houses wouldn't exist? You know how many federal grant dollars would be discontinued if we stop this? Why you think when the Black Panther Party of the 60s intervened directly in the cocaine epidemic, guess who they had to fight the most? The police. For stopping the drugs. The Panthers had to fight the cops.
Hell!
Listen, it sounds good on paper. A lot of stuff sounds good standing out your mouth. But as we know, most black men, majority, 54% or whatever, are single and childless. So most of these men don't even have kids. And there's a small percentage of men that we talk about with these bastard kids that are, out of control. So here we are. It's like, I see y'all in the chat, you asking the good man or the married man, like, man, Mr. Walker. I mean, that's a tall burden. Go take the streets back. What does that look like, Umar? I mean, illustrate it.
We know exactly what it looked like because we have touched on it already. We had a display up here and we were talking about how these coaches, these good coaches with pure intentions, were going to try to help a kid. See, he need a little male guidance, ain't thinking about this young man's mama, but the mom, she's a woman, and she sees this man pouring into her son, being good, and it's turning her on. Next thing you know, now she throwing Kuda Cat at him underhanded, and he got to try to deal with that. So there are angles to this. When you really break it down to the brass tacks instead of just saying it because it sounds good, what does it look like in real time? What authority does this man have for going out there and pouring his life energy that he's most likely taking away from his other kids and his family? See what I'm saying? Ain't no wife out there trying to hear, hey, babe, I'll be home in a little bit. I'm just talking to a little Lajwan and his mama. We just talking right now. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's best case scenario. Like y'all said in the chat, your wife would be getting a call from you, a collect call from prison, or call from the coroner or something. So it's much more drastic. That's why I said, what does this look like? Taking the streets back. No, people need to raise their kids or stop having them.
Right on, mistakes.
Because the job of the police is not to stop drug dealing, but to contain it so it doesn't go into neighborhoods where it's not wanted. So we can't jive ourselves on this. The white power structure is counting on the violence to continue because it justifies the marginalization and premature extermination of black males. But let me say this last point. Go ahead. Like with my conversation with the Queen, everybody's not coming for the party. Right. I'm saying that to say this. I've never taken a life, God forbid. I hope I never have to. But if we're going to take them streets back, we got to admit something. I'm talking as a psychologist. Some of our young men, we've let them go so far for so long, they're no good to no damn body. There's people walking these streets where we're going to have to put to sleep. In other words, you might have to create violence to end it. It will be a...
Hold on. What you got to do, Umar?
Man, we've let them go so far for so long, they're no good to no damn body. There's people walking these streets where we're going to have to put to sleep.
Umar been stressing that for years. He almost got canceled for saying that on stage before. Y'all remember when he first came out, Umar said, "We gonna put him to sleep." You know, but man, Mr. Walker, we say it more poetic. Go look at the flowers, but we understand his sentiment. Umar, you may be one of the ninjas we may have to put to sleep. So it's funny you say that, but nonetheless, we don't disagree with the sentiment.
Shout out to all my Walking Dead fans, huh? One of the most heart-wrenching moments in that saga outside of when Glenn got took up out of here. F. Egan or Negan. But the little girl had went crazy and she just started deleting, things and other people. And the mom had to take her. She was done. As Umar is saying, some folks just ain't no good. They've snapped. Their reality is warped and they're only going to delete folks and cause more mayhem. Come on, sweet baby. Don't worry about it. What's wrong? Nothing. Just look at the flowers. Just look away. It'll all be over soon. We agree. Most freaking unfortunate. Do you not see? That's calling it down the middle. All guys are not good. Some of them are too far gone. Good men, we can sniff them out. Only a short conversation.
Man. And shout out to brother Sean Miller. He says, until women respect the men, if the kids live with the mother and she's stubborn, more stubborn than the kids will take on the mother's rebellious spirit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Sean Miller, that is true. So we can't be planting our seeds in stubborn, rebellious spirit soils.
Man, good one. And Devil's Game's been a member 7 months. Umar and what army?
Huh? He got an army? Pan-African army, huh? I heard Ebony Dean joining his army.
In other words, you might have to create violence to end it. It will be a cataclysmic altercation between black men and some of our youth. Most of our youth, we can get them. But there's some of them, they ain't going without a fight. And they're going to have to be put to bed. It's a shame. It ain't their fault. You understand? But you have a population of unreachables. The white man wants us to think they all unreachables. 90% are reachable. 10%, we're going to have a civil war with them. And that's facts. Don't give your guns back. Buy some more.
So you're saying that the black Christians, the black...
I can't agree with that. We can't be agreeing to go to war with our young brothers and sisters and talk about deletion. Like I said, the adults, we got much less sympathy, but for the babies, we got no choice but try to rehabilitate because they are products and victims of their parents, unfortunately. And they may be lost causes, but yeah, what you talk about, Umar, absolutely not. I mean, man, that's what the colonizers were trying to do to our babies. Rest in peace, young Cyrus and, all the young brother, that young baby, young Cohen. We ain't talking about that, Umar, no.
Yeah, I agree. Arm yourself, stay safe, stay dangerous, but yeah, don't turn your munitions on the babies. Absolutely not. But here we are. It appears that everybody don't feel that way. I believe this is what I think is that we're lost when we don't care and aren't willing to sacrifice anything for the well-being of the children. We don't have that spirit of sacrificial servitude towards the new generation that's going to inhabit this earth. I think we're doomed. We're too daggone selfish. It's cool to pop a Henny and a Plan B, says Bonquisha. It's over.
Yeah, and like I said, what Umar's saying is so problematic because he's talking about, these 10% of kids need to go. And we speaking to the parents directly, understood. We're telling y'all get y'all kids in order, but you can't talk about deleting the kids and then leave the parents so they can create more of the same kids. The kids ain't the problem in that instance. Like you say, oh, we're going to get rid of these kids and then Bonquisha just going to have more. So obviously that ain't the problem.
Well, Miss Butter Pecan 55 Bonquisha can't be the problem, Mr. X.
The Nation of Islam, the Sunnis, the Black Israelites.
Everybody.
There has to be a collective agenda to come together to approach these guys out on the street.
Yes. Face to face. Yes. There's no masculinity involved. It's all conversations in the safety of these rooms. How we gonna stop the violence? Then you got to get in their face. You see what I'm saying? So yes, they got to be a collective and we got to go to the streets, and I'm all for that. It's the only way to do it. Like I said, some of us are so far gone, we're gonna have to be put to sleep.
I think too, in doing so, that to supply our youth
with opportunities. Opportunity, yes, my brother. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Yes.
They want to work.
Yes.
They want to support.
Give them a chance. Nah, they good dudes. Listen, you know how many emails I got from brothers who say, Doc, listen, I got 5 kids, but I work for minimum wage. Right. I just don't want to go to the corner. Right. But if I come into the house one more time and see my queen and my 5 babies and I ain't got nothing for them, I'm going to have to go to the corner. And that's why when they talk about this violence and stuff, it ain't because we born this way. Right. It's created out of the social constructs under which we live. You can make a violent community out of anybody. They did it to the Irish. They did it to the Italians. They did it to the Jews. They even did it to the Chinese at once upon in time. But here's where the black community is complicit, man. Look what Philadelphia spends on Christmas. Right. Black Philly spends $3 billion, not million, but billion every Christmas. With that type of money, you could give every brother a job. Yes. Why our kids ain't got our own schools? Used to have Frederick Douglass Hospital right there on Lombard Street. Black-owned hospital in Philly, Frederick Douglass. No more black hospitals in Philly. We used to have 2. Right. We ain't got no factories. We ain't got no distribution. Where the hell is our Walmart? Because we damn sure don't need theirs.
Hell! And there you go. That's why I say it's the adult. Like, we are passing down this wicked culture of celebrating these holidays. A lot of stuff is passed down. The babies don't know until we start the heavy indoctrination and showing them how important this stuff is. We will, not pay our bills just to get Christmas presents. And then the kids' mind, they're like, this is the most important thing. We ain't even got lights, but we got presents. Christmas must be the most important. You see, so we start building this stuff into their head psychologically, where they, you know what I mean? We got to take it off the table.
Ben did it. My conscience whooped on me many years ago, and I ain't bought my kids Christmas presents in the month of Sundays. It's over. Christmas ain't about you waking up and getting a gift. It wasn't never supposed to be about nothing like that at all. It's supposed to be about Jesus's birthday. It's supposed to be a time of reflection, appreciating your family, not worrying about, what did I get? Selfish. That's what it became. Engulfed in selfishness. Absolutely not. I know the feeling. Yeah, I remember being a grown man and having the attitude many moons ago, all right, that I didn't get something for Christmas. And I had to self-reflect and say, you know what? It ain't about that. Everybody said that, it's a reason to be grateful. Jesus is the reason for the season. But every last one of y'all waking up trying to see what y'all got up under the Christmas tree is heinous. We got to get rid of it.
Man. And shout out to Sean Miller. Says, Umar says we got to purge the bad seeds.
Purge.
I said, don't disagree. I don't just really disagree with him, but we ain't hyper focused on the children. Obviously they coming from somewhere.
That part, that's the part that you miss.
You see, so we have to be willing to become more responsible with our economics. And we have to be willing to put our people before our own personal, useless, agendas.
Can you speak to the black politics in conjunction with that? Because we got a lot of people, black people in politics.
Oh, they're useless. They're useless. They're useless. They're useless. Listen.
I agree with that.
I respect everybody in Philadelphia City Hall, but let's just be honest. The blacks who currently occupy that have done nothing systematically to improve the quality of life of black folks in Philadelphia. Now, Jahid spoke earlier about, being in law enforcement and seeing this on a whole nother level. People often ask me, what do you want the black bourgeoisie to do for you? Because we can't do everything. Yes, we sold out. Yes, we there. But guess what? If we try to pull away from it, they'll kill us. So, Dr. Umar, what can the black bourgeoisie do to help? We can't be on the front lines with you, brother, but I want to do something because I don't want to die having been a total coon my whole life. You know what the black bourgeoisie can do? Provide us with the information. You ain't got to do nothing. If he let me know what they about to do, that's far more powerful than him being on the front lines with me. You understand? If Council President Clark say, listen, Dr. Umar, they're about to take these blocks back. Get the black people together. Tell them to buy as much of them houses as they can because the white folks is coming. That's all I need them to do. They ain't got to be out front with the Nat Turner hoodie. Let me know what my enemy's next steps are so we can plan and prevent them from taking that. The problem with the black bourgeoisie, they not giving us the intelligence. The white man has a spy in every black organization. Why? To bring back the intelligence. The art of war is knowing what your enemy going to do before he do it and taking care of that before he get there. We have nobody amongst the black intelligentsia feeding the grassroots.
Well, two things is true. Clearly, these are your ops, so they ain't about to give you anything. You're going to have to pay for it. The game is sold, not told. So we're going to have to grease some of these folks' pockets. You know, the Al Sharptons and them, they want bread. They ain't about to tell you nothing. But if you give them a couple of dollars, they might tell you a little bit.
They mercenaries. Yeah, shout out to reporting back, bringing intel. Daggone right. Are those days gone? So what we supposed to do? I know I went off to college, and anytime I'm got an opportunity to share some of the information that I gained from college when I went skipping class, I'm sharing it with my brothers and sisters. Absolutely, whether you want to hear it or not. Our job is to go and report back, give a sit rep. That's what I learned. These are the things. This is what I have learned on my travels. Let's use it as best we can. But yes, today he talked about dealing with spies. That's espionage. The black bourgeois bougie, they want to be over there. They MAGA folks. You want intel? Oh, it's only one way to move them. Class, hot lid, or greenbacks.
Roots with information as it relates to the white man's agenda. Listen, the real estate takeover, that was planned 10 years before they started it. Not a single black politician made a move. And speaking of black politicians, I don't vote for no black politician unless they can answer 3 questions. Question number 1, are you an independent candidate? If you're Democrat, you're Republican, I don't vote for you at all. Why? Because if you're Democrat or Republican, you're first of all obligated to the agenda of the Democratic and Republican Party. 2 white racist organizations who don't give a damn about black folks. Okay, that's number 1. So if you're not independent, you're not getting my vote because you're going to do whatever the Democrats tell you to do like a good old boy because they're the ones who funded your campaign, which is my next question. I want a complete list of your campaign funders.
Hold on for a second, caller.
Hold on. We're coming to you.
Complete list of your campaign funders. That's number 2, right? And then number 3, what are you going to
do it again? Because I was distracted.
Got you. So the first one, are you independent? I don't vote for Democrats and Republicans. You got to be independent because if you're not an independent candidate, you're not an independent thinker. Right. I want independent thinkers. I don't want no slaves to the Democrats and the Republicans. Number 2, give me a complete list of all your campaign funders. Anybody who has donated more than $5,000 to you, I need to know who they are because the hand that pays is the hand that rules. Number 3, what are you going to do to give black people a major share of the economic pie in the city of Philadelphia? City of Philadelphia does billions of dollars of business. This is a national treasure because this is where the white supremacist fathers created that damn Constitution. You understand? So much money comes in here. What are you doing to make sure we get our fair share of the economic pie of Philadelphia? Because if you ain't growing, not small black business, I don't want to hear a damn thing about no small black business. I want medium and large black businesses. What are you doing to grow them? And the last question I'm going to have for them, what are you doing to improve the schools and put more black men inside? Because the number one thing that black boys need in the school district of Philadelphia is black male teachers, black male principals. I'm not talking about no gym teachers, and I'm not talking about no lunchtime aides, no bus attendants, and no hallway monitors. They need to see black men as leaders, teachers, and principals. And if you ain't got a black male plan for the school district, you don't get my vote.
I like that. I mean, in all things, we need to see more black folks, you know, all at police officers and, like he said, in the school, in authority positions, not in the school janitor or security, respectfully, or like I said, bus aides. No, we want to be the principal. We want to be most of the teachers, most of the people teaching, all right, and all of that. That's powerful for the kids to see. Most of them haven't seen it and won't see it in their lifetimes.
And that imagery is very powerful. You got me thinking back, Mr. X, you telling the truth. You know, no shade to anybody, but I think, yeah, the 1 or 2 very small handful of black male teachers we had, they weren't exactly in a position of power and authority. Didn't make it seem like a desirable position to be in. We're, like I said, most respectfully and salute and honor to our educators. But Umar been a bit of a hypocrite here. I like what he's saying, but it's a bit hypocritical because he is saying he wants a list of all of the donors. That makes sense. But Mr. X brought this point up. Transparency. When it comes to building your school, we feel the same way. You want donations, gifts, and donations. We want to know where all this money is going. We want a list. That makes it much easier to provide for you. But if we start seeing that you spending, twos and fews on OF accounts, see what I'm saying? You got a Starbucks addiction because you're getting chunky. Yeah, like, see what I'm saying? Let's see your books. Don't be a hypocrite, Dr. Umar. Don't be a hypocrite.
That part. So for that, we're going to put Umar in the pit again.
God, they almost made it, Umar.
Madness. Fuck is you talking about?
This is Sparta!
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to hide. You gotta count your blessings. You're sitting at the table. You hear me? Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
I think that's a big issue, Mr. X. Too many of us don't want to be transparent with what's going on, but that leads me back to another one of my sayings that money can't be passing through the hands of poor and impoverished people. They ain't gonna never want to be transparent because they can't afford to be, because the money is being misappropriated.
That's it. And we got some super chats.
Appreciate you, brother Derek. Says, I ain't helping nobody that doesn't respect me and call me a coon. The hell? We hear you, OG. Shout out to brother Jada Gray. Where you been, Ninja? Good to see you. Says Umar Tootsie Rolls to 1,000 miles by Vanessa Carlton. What the heck? Shout out to Temple Caves. Says, been saying that for a long time. We need to uplift and highlight more black male professionals than that are not athletes and entertainers. Amen.
So here we go. We're going to keep it moving. I see we got somebody backstage before we move on. Brother Better Believes Me. Welcome in, brother.
Ooh, got feedback.
We got some feedback. Better Believes Me. You got some feedback. If you back there, you got to close out. If you're watching, or I don't know what you got going on.
We heard you though.
So let me see. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You got a little feedback, but what you got? What you got, brother? Welcome up.
Hold on, give me one second. I'm driving this truck. Hold on, let me pull over.
Be careful now. Be careful, brother.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Be careful.
Three points of contact. 3 points of contact. Don't blame us for you falling. Shout out to the truckers out there.
There we go. So
what's up, fellas? So I just wanted to say, like, touching on what Dr. Umar was just talking about taking back the streets. I don't think that's a good idea. Back in the days, we had the Black Panthers, the Black Liberation Army. These gentlemen did that. And then where did the Bloods come from? Where did the Crips come from? They originated as Black Panthers and Black Liberation Army. So it's like you take over the streets and you take the streets back, but then someone sees the opportunity, oh, here's an opening now for me to make some money. And then it gets corrupt. I think we should just create our own. Those of us that are like-minded, just move on and create our own.
And as far as what does that look like? Like going to go buy a state or get our own,
get together, buy some land, continue buying plots. Those of us that are like-minded, create our own, try to raise the kids with direction, with like, okay, certain groups of kids are going to be in law. Certain groups of kids are going to go to education, to infrastructure. Like we have to have a plan and create and develop our own community the way we want it to be, if we want it to be that way. As far as trying to take something over and change what's already happening in the bigger picture, I just see some issues with that.
I like that. I
was
agree.
gonna say real quick, I do agree with him. I'll let you go, Mr. Walker. You know, I think it starts with family. So I think that's the most important thing. I don't think we can have a place full of single people because there's too much lust in there. It gotta be family first, you know, kids, you know, building. You know, that gotta be on the forefront.
That's a must. I agree. Better believe, like you said, like-minded folks. Shout out to Hustler's Philosophy, buying plots of land, reclaiming the land that we know belongs to us, and teaching our kids, getting more involved in homeschooling. But yes, a hard stone that must be placed in this is nuclear families. I find it to be like he said, Mr. X said, too many single folks. We know what happens. Mess around, turn into a cult or something. Seriously, you get one guy just go take over everything, you know, or one woman, who knows? So it again, we are telling, easier said than done. I think that's why a lot of folks don't like to, you know, really latch to it. Starts with having a mom and a dad, some degree of matrimony, marriage, whatever it looks like in the future. I don't know.
That's why I love you guys, and you know I'm always here supporting the show, supporting all platforms, all channels, and because you guys started off with the core of, you know, getting back to the black family, you know, married couples, the children.
Yes, sir.
So you know you guys are hitting it from the roots, and that's where we need to start, and that's where we need to go.
That's it, brother. Appreciate you.
Go. And I was gonna say real quick, I see y'all in the chat saying that you know, do married women cheat? Y'all know it's probabilities over possibilities. So the theory is you don't want if we build this whole village and there's all these families, you don't want to be living next door to single men while you out working and hunting. You want an established group of married families where all the men, we're gonna be on the same page. And if somebody get out of line, it's gonna be justice within the community. But if most of the people are single, that's the majority. They're gonna make the rules. So they're gonna be able to do whatever the hell they want. So it gotta be something established.
That's it. Like, we gotta touch on that very primitive element. Mr. X hit the nail on the head. That's why we say, what does this look like? It's cool for us to just say these things, but let's start to visualize the day-to-day activities. Yeah, there you go. You want to be married, you got to go out doing your thing, tending to the land, and your old lady surrounded by you know 4 single guys that's out here trying to take their stake in some. It's just nature. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's to be expected. That's why we got to move a certain way. Amen.
Absolutely.
What you got? You got any final thoughts? Better believe me.
Nah, brothers. Just like, you know, that's the only problem I have with what Dr. Umar was saying. Taking over the streets. I'm more like after them streets. Like, let's just go create. Let's go build. You know, because it's just leaving room for it to become corrupt. You know, Dr. Umar's gonna get a RICO or something. You know, but thank you, fellas, for letting me come up. I'm at work right now, so let me get back to it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Be safe, brother.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Be safe out there. So here we go. If you just coming in, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Shout out to everybody calling up tonight. And we ain't done. We talking about who can fix black culture and how can we change. So I'm gonna pull this up. Shout out to the sister, Just a Girl podcast. All right, she got something to say.
Talk to him.
Black people, as we know, specifically Black women, really hate for us to be held accountable and called out for our actions, especially by other Black people, right? They feel like if you are Black, how dare you say certain terms about your own people? How dare you call us out? How dare you bring attention to us, as if people don't know what's happening between us as a community, right? And I think that that's a major issue, right? Because we have this very skewed mindset to think that if we don't talk about it, no one will ever know. When it's clear, it's obvious that Black people are tired of Black people. Like, again, the term Black fatigue, it's real. People are tired. Like, there's a difference between people who identify as the Black people and the ninjas. And like, I just shared the video for y'all of the Carnival Cruise, the large, massive fight that happened between two Black families. Like, it's always something with us, right? Well, this man decided to, come out and let people know to come down to Oaks Bluff, which is in a part of Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. This guy shared his opinions on Black people coming down to Martha's Vineyard, right? Coming there and knowing how to behave because they don't have Black fatigue where he's at. And I'm gonna show the clip for y'all. We're gonna come back and talk about it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So this is Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard. Now, there is no fatigue here. All right, there's no Black fatigue here. There's only beauty. There's only families. There's only professionals. There are only doctors. There are only lawyers. There are only professors. There are only accountants. There are only finance people. That's what you find down here. Families enjoying themselves. Listen, Oak Bluffs has been a haven of Black wealth in this country for 100 years, and I love it so very much. My wife is here. We love it. In fact, I'll be going back home today, but then we'll be back, God willing, in a week to actually enjoy ourselves, because we will be spending a week here through 4th of July. It's going to be beautiful. But you know what? If you know how to act, come on down to Oak Bluffs. We'd love to have, at least I would, love to have people coming down.
Hell!
I'm going to slow him down. They trying to cancel this brother right now. So he's saying, a lot of Black folks saying, he said, if you know how to act, you can come down. So Black people saying, what do you mean if we know how to act? What do you mean? How we supposed to act? So they calling him everything but a child of God, as y'all could imagine. He ain't say much, he's obviously an accomplished brother. He talking about Oak Bluff. This is Black wealth. So,
salute to the beloved character Carlton Banks. See what I'm saying? This is just Carlton. That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with this brother. He grew up a certain way. You know what I mean? We can't be mad because his mom and dad most likely did a good job with him. But if Will Smith was up here, Big Willie style was up here saying this, maybe it would go over a little bit better because he got a little bit of sauce, a little bit of rhythm in his spine. I don't know. I don't think he said nothing crazy. He just act like you got some sense. If you can't say amen, then say ouch and do something about it. My brother-in-law checked me. I was down with my in-laws down in Indian Rocks, Tampa, with the rich retired folks, and we were just walking about, minding our business. And at times I could tend to be a little loud. And we was walking in the gated community we was in, and he was like, hey, be a little quiet, because I got a little worked up. And I sat there, it wasn't a big deal, but I reflect on myself for my actions and being corrected. And I said, holy shit, I was the loud ninja in the community. You know what I mean? If you can't say amen, say ouch. I could be a little rowdy, but that's all. If you got some home training, then come on down to the Bluffs with the rich folks.
Man. And shout out to Air Force Reek. He says, I'm tired of people using Black fatigue in the wrong way.
Okay. It says they using the wrong way. Air Force Reek. I never used it. Yeah, but I don't know how you're supposed to use it.
That part.
Because we will be spending a week here through 4th of July. It's going to be beautiful. But you know what? If you know how to act, come on down to Oak Bluffs. We'd love to have, at least I would, love to have people coming down seeing this. This is beautiful. You know what? A lot of times in the media, we get inundated with negativity regarding Black people. Well, come on down to Oak Bluffs and see what's going on down here. But remember, you got to come down here. You got to know how to act. But I love it. Black wealth, elite Black wealth. But you know what? What we don't do is look down on everybody else. What we do is help everybody else, because we want more to come down here. Anyways, continue to follow me. I am a professor, a teacher, and a financial coach, bringing financial education to the urban community and beyond. See you soon.
Little fun fact for y'all. Growing up, my father was born and I think raised a little bit as a small child in Boston, Massachusetts. My grandmother was born and raised there. My father was like essentially a New Yorker, raised there like his entire, life. So when we were kids, we all, my sister, myself, and all of our cousins, we went to Martha's Vineyard almost every summer. And this big old, beach house that my grandmother had owned. And it was just, I didn't know we were in this like super uppity place. Like I knew it was nice and I didn't really see many black people, but it just gave like summer beachy, like, like going to the boardwalk, but a little bit, I guess it was a little bit more boring because it wasn't as like boardwalk-y. It was whatever. But my point to say is we spent a lot of time there in the summers. Right. And I didn't understand or know that it was this like fancy place. I'm saying I'm going to this place with my cousins. I really don't want to go, but I got to go, as a kid, right. I want to be home with my friends. So when I think about that and knowing that we have the privilege to be able to spend summers in this home with our family, for weeks at a time throughout the summer is a true blessing. And I definitely don't think there was any mindfulness as to how we should have behaved or not behaved as Black people in that town. But as I think about this as an adult now, I'm like, wow, I wonder, if my grandmother, my dad and people thought about this as we are, in this place. But again, maybe we own here too. We belong here. I don't know. But
well, like we've been saying, somebody said it earlier, we were different back in the day. We had home training. All right. We were held accountable with corporal punishment. All right. We got that switch, if you will. So these kids nowadays, there is no, punishment for their actions. Ain't nobody holding them accountable.
Yeah. Shout out. Listen, little corporal punishment, little pat, little act right. That going right, man. They ain't hurt nobody at all. But here we are. We kept saying as we were trying to stop from getting to this point. We're now to the point where we got to, exclude ourselves. Don't come here. Hey, I'm Black, but if you a ninja and you ain't got no home training, don't come around here. It sucks, but I get it. Shout out to the first Carpet for the Horse meetup when we have it. Y'all think we're going to have some security out there in that park? That's what it's going to be outside. I invite y'all ninjas to inside nowhere. Outside, we're going to definitely have security because ninjas be ninja.
Just wanted to share that with y'all in regards to being in a place that is predominantly white, a wealthy place. Let me say this, when you are in a certain place and it's a certain type of people there, you expect it to be a certain caliber of behaviors and attitudes being displayed when you're in that town, in that city, in that place, wherever it may be, right? He said it's Black excellence. It's a great time. It is wealthy. It is all the things, but we don't have Black fatigue here. We don't have none of that drama. And who's upset? Who is mad? Who is bothered? Who is all in their feelings about the so-called white supremacists? They're calling him a coon in his comments. They're calling him, you want to be white, you want to please a white man. All of that. Who do you think is bothered? No other than the Black women of the sisterhood. No other. Because my issue is, are we on a different planet or something? Are we on a different planet? Because the women who are upset and bothered that he's referring to Black people in this way and using the word Black fatigue because he feels like, oh, they shouldn't be using that term. How dare you? Are y'all not seeing what's happening?
This man right here, who I believe works in finance, got on the Clock app and he basically was talking about Oak Bluffs. And Oak Bluffs is a seaside town in Massachusetts that basically has served as a safe haven for wealthy or more affluent Black families for probably well over 100 years. And he was welcoming people to the town. And he was basically saying at the end of his statement that if you know how to act, then you are welcome to come there. And baby, I do not know why he said that, but people started to eat him up. But let me say this and let me be clear.
We don't care. Listen, if they've been able to sustain this for over 100 years, they clearly got a policy and structure in place. So it is what it is. It's been working. If it ain't broke, don't break it. So they ain't about to start allowing y'all to come in here wearing bonnets and pajamas. They're not about to lower the standard for y'all.
And that's fair. Come on now. Like, we all hanging out at Oak Bluff. SBC meet up at Oak Bluff. Fat chance. But we there. Nice boardwalk. Everything clean. Freaking yacht rock playing in the background. Just chill. And then you see a group, 12 plus, young melanated women and men. Couple poo shiesties, a couple bonnets, SpongeBob pants. You tell me, the hairs on the back of your neck ain't about to stand up? Yeah. Come on. You gonna say, oh, they ain't about to do nothing. Maybe they're not. But do you want to take that chance? We are men. We like, whoa, you fit in the description. Why you got the poo shiesty on? We sitting here drinking martinis, playing shuffleboard. Well, why you look like you about to go slime somebody out, Slime?
I stand in full support of what he had to say. Let's talk about it. Now, if you're not following the Black Death Society, please make sure to do so. This is a space in which pop culture money and real life meet. In his statement, he said that Oak Bluffs was basically a community that was made up of families, of more affluent people that really come there for a peaceful, harmonious environment. And that if you are on that type of time, then you are more than welcome to come there. So the one thing I do not like about conversations like this in the Black community, that if you say anything about expecting a higher level of behavior or telling people that certain behavior is not acceptable in certain spaces, the first thing that people always want to accuse you of is being elitist. I guess if that's what you want to accuse him or me of, it is what it is. But he was already telling people what type of time Oak Bluffs was on before you even got there. And you, as the individual or the traveler, would need to make the decision if that is the type of community that you want to go to. But what I do not think should ever happen is that the atmosphere of Oak Bluffs should change for people who are not on that type of time.
And there you go.
Hell!
So, I mean, it's not elitist. So they're trying to say, call him everything but a child of God, but he's just talking about having standards. So, I mean, if you just got standards, now you elite or you white, I don't get it. Like, I think we all got to raise the bar a little bit.
I agree. And again, I'm all for having a good time, howling at the moon. And these folks are too. I know what I've seen back in the day. Shout out to my wife, my in-laws. They grew up in a more predominant, uppity neighborhood in the Pittsburgh area. And I recall they used to have block parties. Yeah, the whole street. Small hat attorneys, high-level attorneys, all that big dogs. And they would shut the street down and everybody come outside there at a block party, little things. And the main thing they did was get drunk and talk politically incorrect. It was the best time ever. You got attorneys passing out in Speedos on their front lawn. They don't mind howling at the moon, having a good time. But you ain't got to get super violent and loud. White folks know how to do debaucherous stuff. Low key. That's all. Just keep it low key. Have a good time.
And everybody would not be well suited for certain environments. And I think on the heels of the whole controversy surrounding the Carnival Conquest cruise line and that whole fight, like people were literally fighting, two families were literally fighting at the pier. And that is specifically why I do not want to patronize Carnival Cruise Line. There is a certain type of clientele that frequents Carnival, and that's not the type of time I'm on. But what I do feel like there is a certain standard that everybody should abide to when they go out into public places. And honestly, y'all really want to eat me up for that. But whenever I see a bonnet or PJs out in a public place, that tells me everything I need to know about the place. And that tells me that that is a place that I do not want to frequent, because with that level of disregard for how you come out in public, that shows me that you have no problem throwing fisticuffs as well. I am in total support of what that brother had to say. I feel like we all go to places that match our personality and what type of time I'm on. But remember, everything don't have to be bonnets, sagging, boots on the ground, and cigars. But you don't want to hear that.
So there's a man that came on here from Oak Bluffs. I think he was either visiting or just out there for business, and he was basically talking about how there is no black fatigue out there. If you go through the comments of his posts, there are black people talking about he's being discriminative, he's acting like a coon, just a bunch of negative comments. Fast forward a couple days ago, there was a huge brawl on a Carnival cruise, and lo and behold, The same black people that was calling this man all types of names and saying all these things about him, they're under the brawl video saying how, oh my gosh, like, I'm just so tired of the black fatigue and I'm so embarrassed. Like, y'all need to shut the fuck up sometimes. Not gonna lie to you.
So black people can't be
There you go. It's a weird thing. All right, folks. Like, look, if I'm saying it, it's cool, but I don't want to hear nobody else saying it. It's awkward. It's lacking accountability. So yeah, selective hearing, if you will, or selective rage. You know, oh no, that ain't that big of a deal. But if you say it's a big deal, then it's a big deal. No, some of this stuff needs to be talked about.
There you go. Shout out, respect and honor to Dr. Claude Anderson. Classism. That's one thing as melanated folks we don't talk about. Politics, classism, religion outside of white man's Christianity. It's a problem. There is classism. We don't acknowledge it. We don't respect it. And it's a reason why there's this disconnect. No, it's okay to know that you poor. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna be all right. But also take on the stress of trying to work out of it. It's perfectly fine. But folks, a lot of folks don't want to talk about classism because it's unfortunate. A lot of us ain't exactly winning in that race. I get it, but it's a disconnect.
And they don't like the fact that this man is calling us out and using that term. And again, the white supremacy. Here's a clip, y'all. We'll come back and talk about it.
And if I gotta be a good little nigga to go there, I don't want to go. If you have to give me a disclaimer just because I'm black that I need to act a certain kind of way, you ain't gotta worry about it.
That's fine.
I don't need to be there.
Don't come.
And that man who made the post about coming to Oak Bluffs, I'm sure he's a nice man. I'm sure he's a very nice man. However, I don't understand how y'all are not seeing. Well, I do understand. A lot of us still have this mentality, still have this perception that we can perform our way out of racism. And I fear that, like, y'all are not connecting the dots, like, throughout history. No matter what we did, no matter what we accomplished, no matter what we gave, it wasn't enough. So if you are a black person and you move to an area that I'm assuming is predominantly white, because those are usually the only areas where a black person like that feels like they need to tell other black people, oh, make sure you act right when you come. I don't want to go there.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts.
This is wicked. So this big old sister come up here looking like Andrea the Giant. If you don't go sit down somewhere, you ain't welcome. You gonna eat up all the baked goods and drink up all the good liquor. They don't want you.
Up here looking like, I'm the baby, gotta love me. Shout out to Not the Mama. So fitting. It's like universal for these big old sisters. You're not invited. You're not welcome. Don't want you there. I ain't trying to turn around and see you back up at the chicken wing table for the umpteenth time today. You're not welcome. We don't want you there. You're gonna get too drunk and fall face down in the sand somewhere. Then we got to straighten our backs trying to pick you up. You're not welcome. Go somewhere else. All right. There. PSA. If you want to get slizzard to the point you pass out at the Cart Before the Horse meetup, you will be shamed to Hades. Tell you that right now. We too old for this.
Right when you come. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go. I don't even understand why y'all still aspire to be in predominantly white areas, spaces. Like, but yeah, no matter what, it's not going to be about whether or not you know how to act. That's the bigger picture. And the message that was sent was, I need to tell y'all how to act before y'all come out here because y'all are black and y'all have no home training.
The video of that black gentleman talking about Oaks Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard, and talking about how it's full of doctors and lawyers and how there's no black fatigue here and this, that, and the third. That entire video is a white supremacy dog whistle. And the fact that I see people in the comments talking about, oh, a hit dog is going to holler if it don't apply, let it fly. We have some serious white supremacy deconstruction that we need to do. For one, we have to stop equating excellence to careers like doctors, lawyers. Those are great careers, don't get me wrong, but there are everyday people out there that don't do that, that are also successful and also business people. In this day and age, if you get your ass up and go to a job, you deserve to be celebrated. You're not just celebrated because of the type of career that you are. Mind you, those are careers that Black people are systemically barred from being a part of because of their race. So, like, come on. Also, to be a Black person and use the term Black fatigue.
Man, listen. He loves to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up.
Listen, this must be one of these Zennials, wherever they call. Y'all part of the participation culture. No child left behind. Y'all been failed by the whole world. And here y'all are left here just weak. Oh, yeah, I don't care if you just get up, go to work at 3 hours at the gas station. You deserve to be celebrated. Who cares about doctors and lawyers? Why y'all got hierarchy? We are all God's children. Man.
Fuck is you talking about?
Says a hypergamous modern hyena. I knew it was up and stuck whenever she only had a quarter of her damn forehead in camera view. I said, here we go. She owned one. The cowardly and the faceless. Show your whole face. Say it with your whole chest. I wish these modern women would apply this kind of logic or thinking to dating. Oh, it don't matter what that man do, huh? And he ain't got to be attorney. He ain't got to be 6 foot tall. He ain't got to be making 6 figures to be appreciated and celebrated. Oh, I likes that. Now apply it to dating. Oh no, I'm just talking about as far as us being able to be ignorant. You know what I mean? That's all, but not there. Just here. If they apply this same thinking to dating, we going somewhere, but they won't.
Is crazy, okay? Because every race, every ethnicity on this planet has a subsect of people that act up. No one is exempt from it, okay? I see plenty of videos of other races acting up on this internet, yet there's only a phrase for when Black people do it. I wonder why. And then your Black behind's going to get on the internet and recite that phrase against Black people. Are you like this talented we got to stop trying to... God, I'm so angry. I can't even think of the words that I'm trying to say. We can't. There's no respectability in that. Now, granted, the creator of that video, I just seen the comments, admitted that, like, what he said, like, you know, he shouldn't have used the words that he said, and I'm appreciative of that. He had that reflection, and this is definitely not a hit dog hollering. I actually am one of the careers that he speaks of. I frequent these circles, I guess, but like I just don't do elitism.
We don't believe you,
especially when it's rooted in like those white supremacist talking points. I think that says more reflection on you. I've been to plenty of places with Black people and never expected any fighting or this, that, and the third, because why would I? And I think the bigger question is, why would you?
So the ignorance, the pure ignorance, the idea that if anytime a Black person associates something with excellence or associate people acting right means you want to be white or you want to please white people is diabolical to me. Why can't we just want us to act like we have some sense and not have to be worried about trying to be white? Why does being Black mean you have to be ghetto and ratchet? Hell!
Well, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Majority rules. So unfortunately, us, you know, people that's going about life trying to do the right thing and raise kids, or whatever the case, we are in the minority. So welcome to idiocracy and all that stuff. You know, we can sit here and be man, but they are the majority. So if they are allowed in the community with us, they're going to start creating rules like they are now. And it's like, what y'all mean? We should be allowed to do whatever we want.
We see what that looks like. We see it. The Spirit Airline jokes. They're jokes, but there's always some truth to some jokes. When you get concentrations of folks that don't care what you say, they won't do what you tell them, and there's no rules, no bounds. What does it sound like is going to happen? There's no rules, there's no bounds, there's no structure. Chaos shall ensue. It is what it is. They get on my nerves with a wild, wicked rebuttals. Oh, just because I went someplace that seen black folks don't mean I was expecting them to act the fool. Me either. Like, so what are you saying? Nobody said that. We said if you don't know, he said that brother Oak Bluff said that if you don't know how to act, stay where you at. That makes perfect sense. Why be the hit dog if you ain't the hit dog? Appreciate you, brother Sean Miller. Says Roseanne Barr need to sit her ass down.
Man. And I see we got brother Divine Photos backstage. I'll bring you up. Welcome up, Divine. Gotta unmute yourself, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome up, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Well, what you got on the topic, brother?
Well, I want to start off by talking about Umar. I'm like, if you're gonna keep calling out black men, at least keep the back. At least.
Divine, talk closer to your mic. You
sorry.
Can't barely hear you.
Oh, sorry, but can you hear me now?
Still real low.
Oh, hold on. Let me fix that. Hold on.
I had joked last time. I said we're gonna get you a mic, Divine. you real low and muffled.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Let's see.
Can you hear me now? My mic should be sounding good now.
It's still pretty low, brother. Real low.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
There you go. There we go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I had to take off my headphone, my Bluetooth. So, but like I'm saying, as far as Umar goes, right? If you're gonna call out black men, at least keep the balance and call out the women as well. Because I think the thing with him is like, if he calls out the sisters, he's afraid to lose followers. And the last time I checked, if you're a leader or something, you can't be afraid. You're gonna lose people, and that's okay. That's what leadership is all about.
That's true. Yeah, you can't appease everybody. What's the saying? A friend to everybody is a friend to everybody is a friend to no one. It's loosely quoted.
And also too, I want to talk about the Oak Bluffs guy. It's like just that. What did he say that was wrong? But the funny thing is too, what sometimes when we see the white tees on X, saying black fatigue and all that stuff, I don't see these people having the same energy to call them out. I feel like that's more hurtful than what Oak Bluff says, in my opinion.
The problem that they got with the Oak Bluff brother was he let it be known there was a standard. That is a technical foul in the gynocratic portion of our community. I got to be very specific on how I say these things. You can't sit there and talk about you got a standard. Tell me what I can't do, because they know, brother Divine Photos, it's a strong probability that they won't qualify. You see, so they're gonna raise heck. They know they don't. They're looking at him. They're trying to count his pockets, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't qualify." So F what you talking about? Now you use a coon.
Yeah, nigga, it's just sad, man. Because it's just sad, man. Because meanwhile, you have other races that's trolling us with this whole black fatigue and whenever, especially on Facebook too, whenever there's a black on black crime, they always say, "Oh, these are the future doctors and these are the future lawyers," and then I'm like, you got to call that out.
That's it. Good luck. I don't think gonna be calling that now, especially not Umar.
I mean, seriously. I mean, then you get women like this come up here, and this other woman, you see her nickname or her tag name is Yapping and Chatting. She yapping and chatting.
Yeah, she is yapping and chatting. TikTok is egregious. Hey, TikTok let these folks get away with anything. We last over on TikTok land, I think, for less than 24 hours. And they told us get our black butts up out of her.
So what you got? What's your final thoughts, brother Divine? You know.
Yeah, so my final thoughts on this is like, like these kids, these kids, believe it or not, as bad as they are, I still believe that there was some hope for them. But at the same time, you can't save them all. If they want to be disruptive and mess up society, just leave them behind and focus on the ones that need the help.
And you know what? That is what the one brother came earlier was. I forget his. I think not Mr. 40, the other brother, the long-winded brother,
brother Creator.
Creator. Yeah, he was hitting on that. That's the hard reality, brother Divine. And that's why we always reiterate: plant the seed for those that will listen, but a lot of them ain't gonna listen. They will be left behind, But as I think, just as elders, as parental figures, we all got some responsibility for the youth. So we got to all do the best we can. We can't just write them off. However, we ain't writing them off, but we must accept there will be casualties.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me up here, guys. Keep doing the Lord's work.
Yes, sir. Get you better, Mike Divine. You always come up spitting, but it'd be hard to hear you, man.
I know. I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. So, shout out to Brother Divine. And we asking, can we change? So we talking solutions. And I heard Mr. Walker earlier, some of y'all been mentioning the brother Dr. Claude. So we're going to bring him into the room and see if we can get some real solutions here tonight.
Open your ears, ninjas.
We're the only people that do not have a conscientious effort to draft a program about where we're going to go and what every black must do to get us there, and how we must regulate and deal with those individuals who violate.
I've got to tell you, Dr. Anderson, so much of what you're saying sounds great on the surface and certainly would sound good to black people. However, when you talk about being pro your people, it sounds like so much of the rhetoric that we're hearing bandied about by the white supremacist groups today. I am not necessarily going to knock you, they may say, but I am just for my people because we are an endangered species. I heard one such group say recently. Sounds remarkably similar.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And that's because we're moving into an increasingly pluralistic and competitive society. And there's nothing wrong with them being for their people. And I commend them for being for their people. But we're going to be for ours. And it reminds me of a fellow yesterday on a call-in show. Called in said, Dr. Anderson, he says, why can't you black folk put racism behind you? I said, for a very simple reason. Because we didn't put racism in front of us. You put it in front of them as a white. And and you have the power to put it in, you have the power to take it out.
And that's why when we sit up here and these white tea folks, even at the beginning of the show, the one guy trying to tell black folks what to do. No, y'all the last folks, y'all started the mess. So only way y'all can clean it up is to fork over funds in the ways of reparations. But we ain't trying to hear none of y'all trying to tell people how to conduct ourselves. We can handle that. So that's what he hitting on.
Now this interviewer, shout out to Dr. Claude. Don't look like he got triggered by how the interviewer framed that question. That was wild. He stated that talking about black empowerment and being for black folks sounds a lot like the rhetoric coming from the clan ancestors. He said that. He said it sounds the same. They said the same thing. They're not against you, but they're not exactly for you.
Listen, Mr. Walker, I've been saying this all along. This was back 1990, 30. These ninjas have always been around. The futons and these spirits, they linger.
That right there. This is Dr. Claude Anderson. He is a national treasure for this ninja here. Oh, brother, you ain't Carlton. Carlton, that's my new, saying for that wholesome brother that's probably got a trust fund, but god dang it, he's still a black man and he don't separate himself from the struggle. This ninja, this is futons, folks. That spirit still lingers, like Mr. Eric said. Look at your face. You make me want to just give you one of these. Just a wow.
It would sound good to black.
Called in said, Dr. Anderson, he says, why can't you black folk put racism behind you? I said, for a very simple reason. Because we didn't put racism in front of us. You put it in front of them as a white. And you have the power to put it in, you have the power to take it out. Black folk cannot be racist. Racism implies a sense of power and to be able to influence and control and manipulate people. I don't know of any blacks that got that kind of power. So so we cannot deal with racism unless we deal with it as a group. It goes from group to group. And hopefully one day we will get enough power that we can begin to use our influences to better our own people. And that's what I'm talking about in the book.
Chapter 8, Becoming Politically and Economically Competitive in America. Black America is approaching the threshold of the 21st century as a non-competitive socioeconomic disaster. It is ill-prepared to compete with other racial and ethnic groups. Contrary to popular belief, blacks have made only relatively slight political and economic progress. Their quality of life has improved only because the general conditions of white society improved. Now, that means I want to check that. And I went back to 1836, Daryl, to take a look at the conditions of black folk in 1836. I found out in proportional and relative terms, black folk were about the same space where they are now. I found out in that particular time, in 1836, about 45 to 52% of all the prisoners in the United States were blacks, even though only 2% of the blacks were free. Only 2% of the blacks were free at that time, but yet the prisoners in the United States were consisted primarily of blacks, 45 to 52%. I went and looked at the welfare rolls. I found out that looking at where blacks were congregated, like around Cincinnati and Boston and New York and places like large metropolitan cities up north, I looked at that. I found in 1 year around Cincinnati where they had given out 3,200 assistance through welfare. They identified 3,200 families. And out of that, only 19 were blacks. Now, 3,200 white groups got welfare assistance. 19 blacks that got any kind of assistance was only for burial expenses. They didn't even qualify for welfare in those days. And you got the same kind of movement in this country right now and in this state. And which says at best you're going to get maybe welfare assistance. And blacks were so impoverished, they were denied not only job opportunities by a variety of state laws, but they also denied welfare. And they became so impoverished, so sick, so ill-fed that a major portion of that 2% of blacks that were free wound up going back to the plantation and begging white masters to take them back into slavery because they could not take care of themselves and their families. And what?
Hey. That's why we saying cut the check. You know, you can't release us and not cut the check. We build everything. These ain't excuses. Ain't trying to hear folks say, you know, y'all got the same opportunity, pick yourself up, all that nonsense. No, y'all don't understand. Listen to the history.
We did not get the same chances. They don't want to hear this part. Keep telling you, Mr. X, this is too real. It's too dark. The dots connect. And if they acknowledge it, it's going to start tug at whatever pieces and remnants of dark soul they got. So they like, no. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. We were literally released, men, women, and children, into the wilderness. Wasn't no cell phones, wasn't no GPS, wasn't no Google Maps. Like, y'all, you were out in the wilderness. It was raw. And you were out there with your family, and they made sure it was hellacious. Probably released the dogs on you, all that, who knows? So I can understand, as much as it sucks to say, and I can understand why some of our ancestors went back and said, hey, I'm about to perish out here. Can I share crop? Like we were forced into these things. It was all part of the plan. None of it was by chance.
And here's the thing. Just because, 1865, the 13th Amendment, try to say we are free, we must understand that these southern states instituted what are known as the black codes and the black laws. So just because, Lincoln and them rode in on their horses and said these ninjas is free, now they didn't have like buses and planes and ships. No, you had your feet and you got to get out of here now, because now these states like Mississippi and Tennessee, they got the black code, so they will still hunt you down. But yeah, you can try to get up out of here, but they were actively hunting you, trying to keep you into servitude. Now you can escape it and try to get north if you want. And we done seen, all the movies, 13 Years Slave, all that, there was freedom in the North, quote unquote, but you had to get there.
So, Mr. X, what do you mean black code? This is what he means. So that's okay. Y'all free. We need a new law. We don't like this, but we can't go against the federal law. We got it now. We're going to have a local code. What's that code? Any persons, found out and about loitering without at least $1 in currency on their person is considered a vagrant and she'll be imprisoned and subsequently put back into the rotation of indentured servitude. And guess what? A lot of free slaves that have not a dime to their name. And it was simple. It was just follow new rules. Hey, let me see. You got any money on you? You got some paper? You got your walking papers? Nope. Get in the paddy wagon. Where Paul at? Ain't seeing him. He gone on somebody's plantation again.
Yeah.
Appreciate your brother Sean Miller coming through like you do. Says $3 trillion in reparations divided by 45 million of us is $67,000 a person. Can help, but only a changed mind with knowledge will help us grow. Indeed, we need more than that. 67,000 a person. That ain't gonna cut it. God damn.
Yeah, we're looking at 250,000 and growing.
Yeah, shoot, reparations.
You know what the white society said? Then you should not have had children. You should not have tried to be free. You should have stayed with us and let us continue to take care of you.
Of course, you outline in great detail all of that in the book.
Yes, I do.
One of the things that you also mention is that not only the inequity of the system, but once we get beyond demonstrating why the playing field is not level in America for African Americans, you outline strategies to get going, regardless of the unlevel playing field.
Right.
Strategy one, what is it?
Strategy one is understand that we're not progress in this country, and we're in a world of trouble. And not only we're in a world of trouble, but for the first time in our existence in this country, that we have absolutely no leadership of any consequence. Right now, the NAACP is not very functional. There's a great question whether or not they're going to survive. Urban League is almost practically invisible, and the Rainbow Coalition is a figment of a lot of people's imagination. And so, at this point in time, if I were to ask you, name me one single individual or organization in this country that's providing a very broad, comprehensive plan about where black folk are going to go, how they're going to get there, and what each and every black must do to get us there, I doubt if you can name me more than one, if you can name me one.
And the solution to that is?
We must come together as a group and understand we got a problem, and we must develop a plan. And we must have one organization or two organizations get together and pull together the best black brain power in this country to develop a very broad, comprehensive plan about where black folk are going to go and how they're going to get there and what each person must do and how we're going to hold each other accountable. And we have never had that. And ironically, after 400 years, the white society has had a plan on us for 400 years. We've never had a plan on ourselves about what we're going to do. And what I'm saying, that plan must be political economics, which means, and under that, we must spell out in very specific details where we're going to go.
Strategy number two, wealth and capital formation.
Right. That's extremely important. We don't have it. We have right now. We retain about 2% of our disposable income in our communities. We control less than 2% of the wealth in this country. Ironically, in 1860, on the eve of the Civil War, we owned 1/2 of 1% of the wealth in this nation. Now, after a Civil War, emancipation, World War II, a depression, World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, Civil Rights Movement, we have moved from 1/2 of 1% up to 1 1/2% of the wealth in this country, which means the wealth hasn't shifted at all. After 150 years and all those problems and upheavals around the world, we have not shifted the wealth in this country. So what I'm saying is that we must then try to figure out how to move that wealth. Otherwise, we are locked into a no-win monopoly game where white society controls nearly 100% of the income, the wealth, the power, the resources, business, privileges, and all levels of government.
Cool. All that. And now they taking over all the property, all right, the farmland, everything. So it's very unfortunate. It's almost a checkmate position. It's not at this point, it's just a class thing. Everybody, virtually all poor folk gonna get swallowed up, middle class, all that. You ain't even gotta be poor the way the system going.
There you go. I don't, fantasize about being so daggone rich. I ain't gotta worry about these things. I believe that we all need to become more self-sufficient, no matter how freaking uncomfortable that is. That's where it starts. It's talking about social economics, gaining leverage, gaining authority. We can't continue to remain dependent on systems that hate us, the government, welfare, whatever. And it's much, much easier said than done. My wife and I, we are into the homesteading, the farming community, and even they have problems. There's tons of black farmers out here doing their things, and they get attacked as well. Black farmers out here getting tainted seeds, can't get the loans that their neighbors are getting. It's the struggle never stops, is what I'm saying. There is no point where you hit the easy button. Me seeing that in my short little 40 years here on earth, I'm like, okay, how can I make sure that my family, my loved ones got a shot. We got to become more self-sufficient, disconnect from the matrix, stop with all of the spending, stop being consumers. That's a big part. Continue to be productive, but keep our resources to ourselves. Accept those hand-me-downs, mom and dads. You know, if you got to go to a daggone food pantry to stay below budget, do it. Sacrifice now for success and fulfillment down the line.
We don't have enough resources and influence to manage our lives effectively, but we got a short time. We got to do it.
Wealth and group economics is strategy number 3. What's that all about?
That means that we have to be able to pool the capital and start saying to ourselves that no money should leave out. Let's take Detroit, Michigan as an example. We should be operating under a balance of trade agreement in this city. We got merchants coming in the city of Detroit selling products all day long to black folk and taking the capital out. Where do we see any merchants coming into the city buying anything from a black person, taking it out? They don't, because the white society outside the city is boycotting black men. As long as you live, you'll never see a white person drive into a black community on a Saturday morning, go into a black store to buy a product produced by a black person. Very rarely. And so consequently, we are not allowing our capital to be displaced outside the city. And
as I heard one county official say in an interview I did many years ago, it's the negative perception. If I perceive that I'm going to drive into an area that is unsafe, then does it make sense for me to go there?
Oh, sure. But see, a part of the package in the long range plan is to deal with the crime problem. You cannot deal with the crime problem at the same time people are promoting and criminalizing black folk. It's the only 3 things that a person can do to earn a living. Either you're working on the welfare, or you steal. If in fact you cut those programs, you cut out the job opportunities, and you move all your plants out to the suburbs where blacks cannot get jobs, decent job opportunities, and then they move down to the next level of welfare, and you come along and cut the welfare, they're gonna go down to the next level and commit crime. They're not gonna evaporate. So I anticipate a massive social upheaval in this country in the next 2 or 3 years unless someone gets about the business of building an economic structure for black folk in this country.
And that upheaval will be based on
racial
economic. It is racial.
That's right. Racial fighting for resources. That's gonna be the issue. Who owns and controls the resources? And right now, blacks do not own and control any resources. And what has happened to black America, the same identical thing is going to happen, let's say, in South Africa. For him, I can guarantee you that if they only give blacks in South Africa civil rights and integration, rather than going about trying to shift some of those resources and ownership and control of resources in South Africa, you're going to have the same problem within the next couple of years. And the further they get away from the fall of apartheid, the more difficult it's going to be for blacks to go back and shift those resources. In South Africa, as it was in America, you find that the whites in South Africa control almost 100% of all the diamond, the gold, the silver, the chrome, the bauxite, the magnesium, all the land, the factories, the animals, and everything else. But they're going to say, but you blacks in South Africa, you're free. Free to do what, Daryl? Free to do what?
You're free to work, pay taxes, all right, keep the system going, keep the colonizers richer. Yeah, you free to work on my industrial fields now.
Good luck. You free to work on my fields now. It did not work out. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. I keep telling y'all, this dude is a national treasure. He been breaking it down. He done been in these halls of Congress. He knows about, what do they call that? When you bribing Congress to make rules. I forget what it's called. They call bribing. It's called something else. But he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to break it down. And shout out to him. What's his book called? Powernomics. There you go. For all the readers out there, if you are, don't mind reading, go ahead and get his book. I have yet to get it. I will get it, even if it just collects dust on my shelf. But this is an OG that knows what he's talking about. I don't think he's been tainted by the NAACP. He ain't down with no wonky Black Lives Matter. This brother here know what he's talking about. He did the work.
You must control economics to control your destiny.
That's right. And see, and ironically, this is what Martin Luther King discovered about 9 months before he was assassinated. He finally confessed in a couple of speeches that there can be no social progress in this country for black folk until you have economic progress. And he said you cannot have economic progress until you have a radical redistribution of the resources and the wealth.
People don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear that.
Because now you're starting to talk something that sounds purely out of the democratic framework.
That's right. Because right now what the society wants to do is pretend that it's colorblind all of a sudden. And everything is race neutral and say, well, I tell you what, yes, if you really force us to the wall, we'll admit that we have exploited blacks and we have denied blacks at the same time. So now we have a 9-foot white giant and a 2-foot black midget in the society, economically speaking. But let's pretend that all things are equal and all things are fair, and let the strongest win.
You've particularly been stinging in your indictment of black entertainers and athletes and the part they have not played in economic empowerment and self-empowerment in the black community. In our closing moments of the interview, explain.
I think that if you're going to do a vertical integration, the two ideal models to start with would be entertainment and athletics for two reasons. First of all, you start talking about vertical integration, you're talking about controlling the market at the top and the resources at the bottom. And those are two areas that we've always been extremely strong in, athletics and entertainment. What we call popular culture in this country is really black culture. It came out of the black lexicon, and it originated from black folk, the music, jazz, pop, and all down the line. That's all black music. We should have black industries throughout the order. Black producers, black record companies, black promoters, black advertising agencies, and controlling the black managers, everything else in music. Same thing is true in sports. We got blacks dominating in sports. In maybe 85% of the basketball players are black, 75% of the boxers, 67% of football players, 50% of the baseball players. And yet, by the same token, that's all they are. They're just a managed labor force.
No manufacturing, no distribution, no other kind of economically integrated or vertically integrated economic structure.
That's right. Even though you do not hear me mention anything about age.
Shout out to him. Like he said, a managed labor force, even, $1 million labor force, but you are a labor force for billionaires. So yeah, be like, man, they making millions of dollars. Yeah, but the people at the top are making billions, if not trillions. So here we are.
And they're keeping their resources. You see what I'm saying? They're the owners. White man don't mind, owning rich stallions. It's wild. It's a wild setup. These owners don't mind their wives lusting over these athletes, their daughters hunching on them. White man gonna benefit from all that. Go ahead, daughter. Go have a baby by this star athlete. We extracting all that wealth straight from them. They don't care. Go ahead. They don't mind that they wives like them. Go ahead. They don't mind being cuckolds. That's they into that type of thing. They will give us all of the limelight, all of the fame, very little of the fortune, and they retain 100% ownership, and so they could continue to benefit from our talents. And that's what he talked about. We got to get back into ownership. That's much easier said than done. Like they keep coming up. Shout out to the Rooney Rule. They'll try to satiate us a little bit, but it's all smoke and mirrors, if you ask me.
The black managers, everything else in music. Same thing is true in sports. We got blacks dominating in sports. In maybe 85% of the basketball players are black, 75% of the boxers, 67% of football players, 50% of the baseball players. And yet, by the same token, that's all they are. They're just a managed labor force.
No manufacturing, no distribution, no other kind of economically integrated or vertically integrated economic structure.
That's right. Even though you do not hear me mention anything about Asian, Korean, or Taiwan, or Filipino athletes, boxers, in our football players. But yet, by the same token, I look at who's manufacturing the equipment, who's manufacturing all the clothing, who's making all the basketballs, the baseball bats. It's all people outside the United States, not blacks. Why don't we have black factories in the ghetto making the gym shoes, the baseball bats, and the gloves? We got all the blacks running with the balls, the footballs. Show me a black that makes a manufacturer football. Show me a black that manufactures a weight machine. What I'm saying is that we have a high unemployment problem and a crime problem because we do not have a political economic structure that is taking care of the needs of our people.
So shout out to Dr. Claude. Like you said, there's all his books. He got more than just Powernomics, but he got tons of books. And like I said, go onto his website, as y'all see, powernomics.com, and check him out because he's dropping facts. Been doing this stuff since the 80s and 90s, and obviously folks ain't listening.
Yeah, because it's not entertaining. Come on, we get it. We understand. That wasn't entertaining. That didn't get your blood boiling. That wasn't provocative, but it's the truth. This brother breaking it down what we need to do to get ahead. He's been doing it. He made his life work. Salute, much love and respect to the OG.
Man.
And appreciate you too, Sean Miller, coming through this evening. Says this is why Ice Cube came out with the big three. Salute to Ice Cube. Yes, he did. Is that still going on? That's still a thing?
Yeah, he got his thing.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Sean Miller. Says 250,000. Each one of us is 11.250 trillion bucks. The United States would not want to be in debt to us because of how we were treated. We have to do it ourselves. Listen, we shall continue to fight in the conversation for reparations. Don't get it twisted. At the same time, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, like you said, two things is true. It's a debt that's owed. So the same way they got it, it's the same way they gonna lose it. That's not for us to be compassionate or try to understand. No, they gonna transfer power back over into the righteous hands of us. We ain't gonna do nothing horrible. The country gonna still go on. We just gonna be in control of the resources.
It'd be so much nicer. Yeah, we cool, man. It'd be so hip, huh?
Man. So here we are, nonetheless. All right, we've been up here all night, sort of talking about how can we save, or who can save the culture and how. All right, we're gonna drop the link one more time before we get out of here tonight. Anybody want to call up on anything we talked about, especially here with Dr. Claude and the solutions?
Anybody else got a solution other than the reestablishment of Black nuclear families? Anybody, want to break that down, what that looks like, or how we can get there better? Because I don't see any other way. A whole bunch of single folks, we got to become more self-sufficient, meaning we got to still stay within proximity of one another, support one another. I truly believe that for folks to really get serious about it, things got to get a little darker to where we call and hey, Hustle's philosopher, look, this is what me and my family got. We got resources. We gotta get in proximity and figure this out. Huh? We might have to, dare I say, we might have to cart before the horse it a little bit. I don't know. It depends on how desperate things get, but we're gonna see.
Man, so just a thought, but here we are. So if you're just coming in, we've been talking about who can save the culture and how. We done brought up Umar, Pastor Brian, the church. Shout out to Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude. Can we change as a people? The sister was talking about Black fatigue and Martha's Vineyard, and people don't want to assimilate to go certain places. Here we are.
There you go. I told you, listen, I don't mind telling about my sins. It's okay to acknowledge that you rough around the edges and that you may have to change a little bit of your behavior, curb it a little bit. It ain't about being fake. Gavin X and I, y'all, for those of you that are true day ones that seen our earlier videos, by nature, for the majority of our adulthood, we used to curse like sailors. And I remember the first time somebody said something, I wasn't trying to hear it. You know what I mean? I always been like this. I could curse. Shoot, I'm me. I'm rough around the edges. This is part of who I am. However, whenever somebody challenged me and they say, you know what? Cursing means you don't know how to articulate yourself. It's a sign of ignorance. that triggered me. I ain't ignorant. So now you know what? Challenge accepted. Some of us just need to accept the challenge that, hey, we need to change a little bit. And that's all right. Shout out to the sister C. Bogan. There you go. It kind of extreme, some folks would say, but these are extreme times. If you ask me, arranged marriages, I can foresee that. You got two wholesome families, sons and daughters, some chaperone play dates type ish. Yeah, we gonna guide you in the right direction. That go right. There you go.
Here we go. So that's all. We just searching for solutions. Like I said, I think we had a productive show tonight. Shout out to everybody that called up. Brother Creator. All right, even though he said he was not long-winded, he ended up being one of the most long-winded people I've ever seen in my life. But shout out to him.
Don't be a stranger, brother. That was awesome. I like that. That's why we started Truth Over Lies. We want y'all ninjas. We know y'all got stuff to say. Come on up. And Brother Divine, you better get a better mic next time. Brother Divine got his own book of sayings. He be up here cooking. But he come up here live. We can't hear your voice, brother. But yeah, like y'all input. But there we go. We this is documented. I think Gavin X and I have joked. My father-in-law, I'm sure a lot of folks joke about writing a book. We don't have to write a book. This is it. Our kids ain't about to be sitting there going to no library trying to see what the heck we were saying. It ain't gonna happen. But they can come watch it. They can feel it. You know what I mean? It's much more multi-dimensional than just sitting there trying to read a book. I think too many of our kids and grandkids, their attention span ain't gonna let that happen. This is it. These are the scribes, huh? The cart before the horse. Let's do better, scribes. Shout out to Theo Kuba to Do Better podcast. But this is it. This is our book. This is our story. This is our warning to the newer generations. And we're showing them cautionary tales. They can know the history so that they won't be doomed to repeat it.
That part. So if you're just coming in, make sure you hit the like button. If you replay game, subscribe to the channel. If you are over watching on the Cart Before the Horse channel, click the link, come over to the Truth Over Lies and subscribe if you're not. So we almost at 4K, 4,000 over there. So hit the subscribe button.
Ooh, we chugging along slowly but surely with the subscriptions, moving like a three-legged turtle in peanut butter. Make sure y'all Jive Chickens share the content, get the word out there. We sounding the alarm. We appreciate y'all coming through as y'all always do. We ain't got to sit up here and beg y'all for support. Y'all just come through with it. We cannot thank you guys enough. Shout out to Cart Before the Horse Nation coming through, supporting your channel, supporting your interests, supporting your beautiful Black media. Thank you, and a thank you.
And as we told y'all at the beginning of the show, we will be up here tomorrow for Single by Choices. All right. Tuesdays are now back to Single by Choice Tuesdays. So pull up, and Truth Over Lies will either be Mondays like tonight or Wednesdays, or both sometimes, depending on our schedule. But I think it was a good night tonight.
Yes, sir. We need that. Oh, we need more Single by Choices in your life. Don't we know it? So much wonky dating, mating, and rage baiting madness going on. We will be doing you Jive Chickens a disservice, not reporting on it as need be. So we will see you Jive Chickens tomorrow, Tuesday, for more SBC madness.
And also shout out to all the sponsors tonight. Brother Air Force Reek came through. Devil's Games, Divine Photos, Brother Merciful. Yeah! Shout out to Be Streaming. Shout out to Omni Design. Shout out to Sean Miller, Sister Nais, Brother Jay Tillman stopped in, and Brother Ryan Page.
Much appreciation to the show sponsors coming through with the big support, keeping the lights on at Cart Before the Horse Studios. And shout out to the Brother Jay Tillman. We got to start another drop, brother. Just get started on it, and I'll catch up. We got to do something.
There we go. So make sure y'all are here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard for Single by Choices, and we'll see y'all then.
See you Jive Chickens tomorrow. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way out, or you ain't black.
That part. So until then, I'm Gavin X.
I am Mr. Walker.
And we are Cart Before the Horse Productions.
A good evening.
We're trying to get you old now, viral online.
Truthful lies, say it loud, say it clear. Left the streets when you need you here. Quarters of vision, fit your focus, kiss. Break generational suffering. Truthful lies, say it loud, say it clear. Left the streets when you need you here. Quarters of vision, future focus, kings. Break generational suffering.
We don't profit off death. We don't clap for destruction. We here to build men.
Not Berry Boys.
Not Berry Boys.